this point, it could be really good.
Absolutely. I mean, this is so many champions in this one. This is the conclusion of Group D. And we're not getting the Pearl that we thought we were from Loud. This composition is such a shift, and they've instantly taken Street.
Seems like they're going to split that way. The Haunt's already been cleared, and they're just really aggressive up Link. Aspas has already gotten the first kill. Zipan's got a lot to deal with. CNET tucked, able to get two in an excellent response.
Loud not caring at all about the util that Navi hit him with. The dart getting down B long and that knife suppressing everything. So no stars, no smokes. And unfortunately for them, no more players either. 2v3 is going to be tough to get back in when the spike's on site.
Les is playing pretty far back. They've got the spike surrounded. Tui's is going to have to make a move, or maybe just buy some time for Les to reposition.
Yeah, but he can't get caught when the smoke falls.
Yeah, because then the play's essentially over. A delicate dance for the controller for Loud. Has to stay alive, has to draw attention, and do so without losing his life in the process.
30 seconds left.
Les now has arrived. 30 seconds left. The first swing is going to be a little bit of a tag, but not much more. Les falls to, he's left by himself. A 1v3 will not convert as the pistol goes to Navi.
All that waiting for the flank just for it to get ripped apart by Sugetsu. And we get our first instance of CNET against the Brazilians. The 2021 champion versus the 2022 champions as well. He just ripped them to shreds there. And I think this is what I really like about Navi's Pearl is it gets CNET activated so easily on this jet roll. No concerns about what he's going to play. Is he going to be able to float something else? Is he going to have the raise that's capable to actually challenge? No. On Pearl, this is CNET's playground.
Lots of info off that knife to open the round.
That's the second time, too. The first one, they got 3 suppressed inside of Street. Here 4 at the beginning, but they did get that orb at least.
Oh, and I like how Navi played that too. The information that they got on A allows them to take so much space down B long. They just grabbed the orb down B long. They've taken all that space. They've left CNET here. It's very nicely handled.
The tug of war between the macro games of these two teams so far, actually very interesting, you're right. 1 for 1 on the orbs, and Loud know they don't have that space, so they have to go recommit towards the safe side. Another split.
Here the flash pop, Shao feeling some of the pressure. There's power in numbers for Loud. Question is, how much more can they find? Navi still have 2 members that are playing backside. Courtesy of Zipan and Sugetsu.
Oh.
And the spam through off the C's is really nice.
Spike planted.
We've got something on our hands here, folks.
Les is heating up.
It's just CNET and Angel that are left. And you remember, you go back to the beginning of the round, they were the ones who were opportunistic in their space gathering.
Yeah, and with the way that Navi like to buy here, I'm maybe considering a save instantly here. Because Angel and Sugetsu save on this attempt at the anti-eco. So they'll be able to buy next, and CNET with a Vandal too. Yeah, he's backing off. Angel's going to keep this Bulldog, pick it up, and that's still going to result in a good buy, but Loud just rip apart this anti-eco.
And they did so with nothing but a Marshal in the hands of Aspas, and he didn't really do a ton of it, maybe a little bit of damage, but yeah, it was all the pistols.
And they're chasing down the guns too. This could be critical.
Let's see if they can grab any of it.
One more. Not going to find it, but still getting the Bulldog down is pretty important. That would have been a dropped weapon for somebody else. And look at these shots from Les. He's full blind there. The C's gets a connection,
wow.
And he gets that spam.
That second shot was so nice.
What a monster.
Nice.
That's the guy from, if I'm looking to see what type of form Loud is going to have on this map, I'm looking at Les. He's plays such a critical role now, especially since you're not running the double controller, you're not running the Harbor Viper. He's almost the sole lurker with Tui's too.
They're going to try to regress and take this fight a little bit delayed. After the dump of utility at the beginning of the round, as the barriers drop, Angel's Guardian cleans up Sada.
That's ridiculous. Again, 2 players saved here from Navi, by the way. So they have worse weaponry in this round, for sure. And the interesting thing there is they're going for a re-clear. Normally they do that with Angel's drone.
Spike down A.
And he's just using the Guardian to take them all down instead.
We're about to have one of those vintage Angel games where he just pops off.
Boy, I hope so. Look at Les. He just got through A main, to clear art, which allows them to get on this site. But Zipon, is he aware of this angle? He is, but not aware enough. A little bit of a whiff shot there.
Angel with the dart, nothing tagged. Les playing very cautiously beneath it. That's going to be a kill on Shao. Les is still very weak. And while Loud are making a run at this, there's still so much work that has to be done. Yeah, and it just went from bad to worse. Tui's is going to have to 1v3 if they want to pull this off, and it just got a little bit more difficult. That crossfire, the spam, it's too much to deal with.
After 3 rounds, does it kind of feel like everybody's playing by themselves?
Yeah, a little bit.
Might be because these first kills come in so fast from Angel, but for Loud there, I mean, obviously losing Sadak early kind of takes away from the punch you're going to have to execute on the site, but what a response from NAVI, and again, thinking back to saving that one Vandal, thinking back to the buy that they do, they instantly respond, and it's put Loud on a really terrible position economically. Just one Vandal, hero bot from Aspas. They've got the lockdown, and that's what they're going to try to favor. CNED's in a position on top. Gets away from the stun, and now he can go up.
So you get 2 with Killjoy Utility and CNED with the height advantage onto Aspas. That was the rifle.
Look at that, too. That's a dart going up. Even if CNED doesn't peek on the right timing there, you have a player looking backwards to break that dart while he peeks. Nice combination. With just one dart, making sure you're doing something off of it. That's Na'Vi on Pearl to a T.
Sadak picked up the Vandal, and he's playing from further back. Tui's getting one with the Sheriff.
Les can get activated too. I mean, he was the hero in the last one. I think the intention was to get that lockdown down on B.
I mean, if Les plays his cards right here, he should be able to grab the weapon that was dropped by Sugetsu. I thought they were going to try to control it a little bit more. Angel was posted up on it, and you see the rotation through. As Angel goes off, CNED fills in on the space, and Les really doesn't have a way to get in to grab that weapon.
What's the intention here, though, from Loud? Because they go throw the stun over here, 30 seconds. Tui's is on the other side of the map. I'm confused, very confused on what the intention here is. Tui's maybe a late flank if they get the site, but they've got to get the site first.
Yeah, that's a really big if. And they're going to have to do so in the face of 4 Na'Vi members who have full weaponry. Kawanzine has already fallen, 14 seconds left. They've got to commit to getting the spike down very soon. Shao with the spam, not landing. But it's going to be enough to reposition. I don't think they're going to get the spike down, not at this rate. Sadak's got to commit, and he can't. The pressure from Angel was just too much. And there's just not going to be enough time. What a chaotic round.
And again, to me, that kind of felt like multiple ideas where everybody's trying to implement their own say. Les was in the middle of the map for so long, too, while Sadak was calling to hit this A side. And that might have been where the time issues stemmed. It's not a great start from Loud, despite having players who look to be on form, even Sadak in that one. A very nice attempt. But that was low weapons again. Now they have 2 key ults. I would love to see what the ideas are when they start getting these ults to layer up, because this breach is very unique on this map.
Oh, I thought they were going to keep that attack side up for Aspas, but at the very last second, switch back to the Vandal.
The fact that he's even considering it as an option is pretty interesting, given he opted 1 time in Masters Tokyo over 2 series.
You see the setup for Na'Vi defensively. They're concerned with what's happening mid. Not really willing to give up that space or fight for it as much as they can. Sadak and Loud hold, excuse me, Aspas. Jeez, what a brutal opener.
Yeah, that's huge. Completely controlling mid here. CNED with the op, though.
And now they know.
And that's the breach ult, too, so if they wanted an execute, suddenly that's gone. Look at the spacing right now still. Trying to get through, make sure there's nobody fighting sewers. That's why Kawanzine's waiting for Les here to regroup with Aspas. But they're going to choose to go into CNED.
But it's just CNED. And it's just CNED with 45 HP, no armor.
He can stay here.
They know. You see it pinging on the minimap. Aware of what the gaps are in this ult.
He does have a molly. Les does, so does he have a lineup for it? I don't think so.
And you see they're even freezing on this. Wait, they're just going to peek into this? 2 Cloudbursts out to obscure vision. CNED's still healthy. The fact that he survived as long as he has is massive because he continued to make plays.
They're so scared. Plant's still not down, Doug.
CNED's going to be able to feast if they continue to wait. Les finally cleans him up. Numbers in favor of Loud, although less weak. Just 5 HP. But the spike planted, you see if there's any utility that's going to dump up on top of it. Zipan's going to get cleaned up. Kawanzin gets both.
So cautious in that one, but it pays off. Ultimately, not enough players for NAVI to deal with that hit coming through. And they were so cautious against CNED with his op. But what a swing round to win. Look at the plant position. It's crazy that they end up planting there where he's kind of in the open to players from spawn. But he's protected against CNED, and they don't choose to try to flush him out after that lockdown. Those early picks paid huge dividends down the line. And we might get early picks again down
what a
hard.
trap.
There's a dash.
The flash and the haunt.
Spike down mid.
Both Jets activated knives and dashed into mid. And we come through with Loud actually behind in this one, despite getting the first kill.
That was so mad. Hopefully we get a good look at that one more time because that was just so fast. But through the quiet, CNED still has his blades. Aspas not nearly as fortunate. Rolling Thunder online for Loud still.
They have to start being able to get success with these dry walks, and
Oh, that's not the success they were looking for.
that's not the way to do it, no.
And that's another instance in which Sadak dies with the Rolling Thunder. Mind you, they haven't really had the opportunity to execute with it, but
The dart for the spam, oh my goodness, Tui's in trouble there.
instantly cleared. Sugetsu hasn't, however. He's still playing backside. Now understanding some of the presence. Angel with the Hunter's Fury. Not going to tag on anyone, but it was enough to bait it out. Just the tap. Now where do they go from here? Spike still in the hands of Les.
This smoke is
30
going to fade from a
seconds
CNED.
I mean, you're pushing into this 4-player defense. Well, 3 now.
Still haven't planted.
And there's still so much to do. I mean, Tui swings into a high-low that you wouldn't be expecting in a situation like that, and it's so miserable to deal with. Les, you've been good, but man, the blades from CNED are just too much.
That's just crazy there, too. I mean, the cautious approach from both teams. You saw it there again in that last round. Nobody from NAVI peeking after they get the advantage, and Loud holding on for so long to make something out of that round. This early engagement is just ridiculous.
My, what a mess of an opener.
The fact that Sadak doesn't stun until after that CNED push comes through is quite confusing, given Auspas dashed on the line.
Just a share for Sadak. Kawanzin and the aforementioned both with ult still.
They're
And
aggroing
Navi,
again.
yep, and continuing to do so down mid of all places. Aspas is here though. But it seems like Navi are taking a step back.
I wonder if this is a complete read. Look, 5 stacking from NAVI. That's why they're backing off right now. Realizing they have so much space on this A side. And CNED will scramble back towards the B. I think that was definitely a miscalculation. At the beginning of the round, an Angel versus Aspas. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we're having one of those Angel games, man.
We definitely are, 8-4. It's just crazy.
Talk about how he's rolling back the years and all that stuff. Angel seems to be in really good form right now. 85 HP, fishing for another is finally, he gets it.
And that's ahead of the stun there from Kawanzin again. He's peeking past double doors before Sadak deploys the fault line.
So once again, a lot of pressure and a lot of ask on the shoulders of Les.
That's good for him to have broken that molly before
30
the rest of
seconds
his team
left.
got here. Are they going to breach hold? Are they going to do anything to get on this? Look, Navi's playing so far back, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and in a 3v4 where Tui's has 5 HP.
They're going to use the wall too, but not blocking out flowers, so they are spammable here. 15 seconds.
Gravity well at the back, they dump some of that util. Les just took so much damage from one shock dart, man. Where do they go from here? How do Navi find a way out from this? As it seems like Angel's gonna be the late lurk, but Les is ready for it. Angel's just quicker on the draw. 3 on the round for him. And surely if you're Loud, you cut your losses. You don't continue into this.
They have breach hold. They're going to use it. Looks like maybe off the stun, maybe off a kill.
This is just so difficult to deal with. Yeah, Angel with 4, Zipan gets the last.
And that's not most of these rounds I'm looking at, especially when Navi get a slight advantage or it becomes, it's even throughout the mid round. Navi is always so careful to continue to close out these rounds. And I think Loud need a timeout because This is to me looking dire. The amount of missed peaks, mistimed pieces of utility. It's not going to be sustainable here against NAVI, who are punishing you for those mistakes as well.
Yeah, they seem to be in really good form. And you're right. Do they invest these ults, the ones that they've been holding on to for so long? And what else do Loud do on the other side of this timeout?
Bring them down.
Fast Prowler towards Link. So gets you waiting to see if there's a dumpy utility. That's a second Prowler they just used to clear out, and I don't know that they've really gotten very much space with it at all.
Yeah, but Sugetsu's alone, so if they continue to follow up on this, he's going to have to pull out a multi-kill with nothing.
Sugetsu, one.
Where's the trade?
That's easy enough. That aftershock is going to help. What? Oh, the gravity wall is the only thing that stopped him from getting a third.
But again, people peeking ahead. They had that aftershock prep the entire time. Tui's and Sadak literally util out, so when I ask where's the trade, it's not coming. But yet they're still peeking.
Angel with a glowing Vandal looking to add on to it, and he does.
Absolutely a flat start here from Loud out of what is a very expected matchup, one we haven't seen from two teams who have had so much success internationally, even this year. At lock-in, Loud, runner-up, NAVI, third, fourth place. And here we are. An elimination game, the first time we see these two teams playing, and NAVI feel like they're running away with it.
Left.
Such drastically different expectations, and I mean, it's a game that is often decided by form on the day. And right now, it just seems like Loud are still in bed, man.
Got one.
Other than Les. Les really seems to be the only bright spot in an otherwise brutal start for Loud.
That's interesting, too, because, yeah, they're getting rounds because of the heroics.
Yep.
And love this. Just closing this out very easily, putting the Cosmic Divide up, checking exactly what he's going to do, waiting for that pull to come out. He could play off this very well, though.
Two, is he going to 1v2 this? Take it around? Oof.
Come now, come on. Diffuse, diffuse.
Just not quite enough time for him to really make anything of it.
Yeah.
Even if he gets
Defend this place.
one, in most instances, you start to be able to play with the time, but there, no, you got to take them both down. So much for Shao to work with.
Dude, this 2K by Sugetsu is just dumb.
It shouldn't happen.
No, especially that kill on a Kawanzin.
Granted, it was a nasty shot. And Angel's still frying as well, but yeah, when you come into this with an idea, with this breach, with this fade, it's definitely new. You're trying to catch him off guard with some of these util combos, and Loud is just not achieving that.
Yeah. Timing just seems a little bit disjointed. Meanwhile, for NAVI, they're doing everything correctly.
Starting to have so many tools, too, to deal with some of these situations that Loud is putting them in. And if they're going to play slow, I mean, these retake ults are massive. This lockdown, the Hunter's Fury from Angel, it's brutal. Sadak still hasn't used his breach ult. He's had it since like round 5 or so.
Yeah, Kawanzin has had his since like 6 or 7. He's been holding on to that one for a little while, too.
They're not even on site.
Invested, and it's going to be in a round where Sadak has only a Sheriff. Yeah, there are a couple of other guns flanking it and surrounding it, but it's used to get onto the site. There's no counter to this Hunter's Fury. Sadak's dead. But they got the spike down. They also invested the Nightfall. They're throwing everything into this round.
Yeah.
Desperately needing to find success.
They can start playing art. I'm wondering where Sugetsu chooses to use his lockdown if he does, and he does. Not pushing the player's art or A main back too far, though.
Keep an eye on Kawanzin. He's going exploring.
A turret just got put up, though.
He's going hunting. Sugetsu's ready for it. He clears out the turret. Unfortunately for him, Sugetsu took a step back.
That's pressure on the back line they have to deal with now. They have to be aware. They're going to go for the defuse, though.
They're not concerned for it at all. They're just turning their attention towards the site, and it's going to work out. Zipen's already gotten it halfway.
Yeah, the Gravel didn't come out in time. NAVI!
Les, the spam there cleans up one, but still so much to do. Did he buy enough time? It's so close. 0.64. The kill comes through at the end, as does the defuse for NAVI.
It's disaster. They had that round in the bag. You called out the time, less than a second. Tui's didn't get his Gravwell back in time to pull him off the half defuse. And it's domination right now.
unreal.
It's got to have been a cooldown, too, in my mind.
Yeah, 1000%.
That's just crazy. They were relying on that.
Where are
And Loud is going to have to try to do something different, go into CNED for potentially the first time. CNED's been getting free reign on this B long side. We haven't really paid attention to it because Loud is just taking mid or A. But half the time he's deep B long, getting so much information for his team, allowing a full stack towards A.
And he's been patient with it too. He doesn't take B long and then continue to push into spawn. He just holds the space. Contains what Loud are trying to do on the attacking side.
Unless they're coming back to him right now because he has that lockdown, but another A push means another A retake potential. They're going to use it for the post plant, which I love, instead using the flash, and there's finally a go button from Loud here.
Yeah, I like this too. Perhaps seeing that there was no one on site in the previous round, given the Rolling Thunder they invested, they're a bit more cautious in what they spend this time around. Still an op in the hands of CNED. Keep an eye on that, Sadak. Trying to push his way forward. They invest the Cosmic Divide too as Angel falls. Sadak on the swing. Oh, gun barrel spotted. Sugetsu on the swing. The kill in favor of Sadak. That was, I mean, that was right next to him. But he takes a step back. Now gonna re-aggress. That op barrel really long. The Seas and the Prowler getting info on the other side of the wall.
A nice pivot there too to use the Nanostorm to push him back even further. That will be the round here. And Navi's gonna try to do damage. Remember, Loud has struggled to get rounds put together. If they lost weapons here, they'd really hurt. Whereas Navi, plenty of bank. And that's what I was expecting the entire time. Where was this execute? Where was something to do with the breach and fade to just push yourself on site?
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, Navi does have a decent amount of delay in the form of Sugetsu, but not much more. Not as much as you get from like a Viper Harbor or something like that. So I'm pretty surprised, but it is similar to what we saw from Loud against Team Liquid on Split, where just consistently waiting. Finally, though, a fast push, and we might get it again.
This time it's going to be towards B, though, and remember, the op is here for CNED.
Good shock.
Fault line to push him off the angle, has to dash away. So space gathered.
Look at the damage that shock did, and he might even get even more on Aspas. Aspas down to 68 HP, Sadak 92.
Dude, Angel's just got like heat-seeking utility right now. Prowler's gonna go real far away. Take a step back. Angel with the dart. They're gonna try to flood up behind it, the snap onto the first.
Take flight.
And now the drone to follow. Xiao's still so far away from the play, but they're waiting for Navi to all gather up and then push forward.
Xiao's one kill off of a Cosmic Divide.
Here.
That will ruin the B-Long player's ability to play into this.
Oh, I mean, it's done if they get that. Final boss down, Aspas 68 HP, still playing backside. Valentine close by. The swing out, and Zipen and Xiao get both. A 3v2 here, and Cena taking a lot of damage, and there's the Cosmic Divide that you were just referring to. They have to push ahead of it, but they don't know that Cena's in the smoke! First shot goes wide, but it buys time, it's a distraction.
They don't know
Nothing
they're
but
off.
a fade. They have to face check it, a 1-for-1, 2, he swings through and gets Loud the fourth.
Last round in the half.
Might have been a slow start here from Loud, because as this half comes to a close, they are turning right back up.
It's heroics though, Bala. I mean, I guess if the heroics are gonna continue to work, sure. But man, these rounds have been so close. I mean, look at Angel's face.
Everybody thought they had that when that wall went up. And yeah, it might be heroics, but I'm seeing a shift in the game plan in these last two rounds. Much more emphasis on hitting with the breach, with the fade. These sort of tools, they get you the sights so frequently. Force them to play these retakes. Force them to play the advantage or the disadvantage of this map, which is those B-long post plants. They're so tough. They're expecting a push here, Doug. Navi.
Revealing area.
They get some peeks into mid, but they don't go even further. And Loud was waiting for it. Tui's was just sitting there. Look how deep they've got Aspas. Something interesting is about to happen. Potentially a fake, potentially another deep flank that we saw in Pistol Round with a different player.
They got the Nightfall in line for Valentine. Seems like that was all they were really concerned about. And now flipping of the map, you see the abundance of money. They are dropping of the op for more of a reliable weapon. Well, that's a nice haunt too. Is it getting some tag? I mean, surely you know that the hit's this way now. You see it for Navi, they're starting to scatter and rotate over towards B. Nightfall dropped, it's gonna hit what, 1, 2? Zipan just dropped Aspas as he was dashing into his face. 2 members of Loud already down. Loud, Navi, oh my gosh. They just got obliterated by Navi. Prime Gaming flawless as they get 8.
Zipan and CNED re-peek through, and the reposition from Zipan is perfect. He gets back out behind the screen after this first kill, using Aspas's smoke to do so. Look at that shot.
It's just mad too. I mean, a different timing on the dash, and he doesn't see him, right? The Cloudburst covers it all up, but because of that slight time window, he's able to hit the spam into it. And then the exec is blunted. Careful there, you might show too much emotion. It's an 8-4 half in favor of Navi.
And for Loud, it's actually the same story as well. They've only missed 1 time back at Copenhagen. Despite that, both teams bombed out of Tokyo. So I think both teams are feeling the same way after the criticism that they've been getting online.
Yeah, sure.
They've got to feel kind of like they've lost that backing from the community in terms of expecting them to be able to win a tournament like this.
Well, also, I imagine in a lot of ways, failing to meet the expectations they set when these rosters were put together. When they departed on their maiden voyage. And they find themselves in a position now where one of these 2 teams will not make the dock.
Look at Navi right now. They've already collected both orbs. They've collected control of both A main and B main. And now they can regroup with the spike that's still laying in spawn. They've maintained mid control as well from the barriers, so they have a pretty good idea of what's going on. Meanwhile, Loud have this trap set up off the turret contact with Sadak stunned. So if they go into B-Link here, Navi needs to be ready to sprint back out, which I think they're expecting. Look,
yeah,
Spike's going towards A. They're peeking into street right now.
Well, I think the thing is, too, for Navi, they got all that control without having to invest very much. Zipan has his knife already back up. Angel just used his dart again.
And that was a dart from A main. So they break the setup in B. And they head right back towards this split with the drone coming in, forcing these players close.
Oh, what a snap from Aspas. Tui's able to get a second. That was clean. Angel, where are you going, bub? Sight's behind you. You have the spike. Go looking for the fight. Go get the spike down.
Oh, well, it's actually considering how to play in this scenario, knowing there's a lot of players in Art. Knowing how Xiao's already on site, they're going to try to take control of this. He needs to win these fights.
Oh, but he manages to get out of there without taking any damage, which, given how the first couple of shots went, is a major success.
Les is putting them into the pen right now. They are completely boxed in.
Is it comfort for Navi, or is it a problem? Down in numbers, completely surrounded, as you were mentioning, leaving Angel by himself, currently top fragging on the server and looking for more magic. 91 HP, the classic does not connect as Loud get the pistol.
And they needed that one.
Desperately.
Important round to throw it all you had. And you're seeing already the trap play in B-Link. Navi spring that very well. There needs to be a follow-up, and there was from Loud. Playing up close inside of Art, this smoke. Navi wasn't, you might have said that they weren't spending util to get the space that they have, but they also weren't getting the util out of Tui's. And not having the tools to get through it. So I want to see that continue from Loud. Being able to float on the map, give them the space, whatever it might be, and also place, there's a deep stun here, led up by Sadat that can go all the way A main for these 2 players that are pushing up. Without the haunt tagging, though, they might not go for it, and Sadak might release. He already used it.
Yeah, he used it at the very beginning to set up what you were just discussing. Drops the fault line, they're able to control the space, get the orb into Kawanzin's hands, who's now halfway to having his Nightfall.
And that is pretty good prophylaxis from Sadak to set up that fault line so that they don't want, Navi does not want to go into A main at the beginning of the rounds at all, because that catches everything and you have no ways to dodge that. So good conditioning.
Bring them down.
Prowler to clear out main, nothing found. Just Tui's filling on the space behind it. Navi with 3, make that 4. Pushing up towards Art, trying to create some pressure across the middle of the map.
They're really trying to find something for CNED here. with this Marshall. The Sheriffs were really good for Loud on this second round.
Right here.
In that first half. Knife spots nothing playing into side secret.
Meanwhile, Sadok's fault line just came back up. Cowantina has his haunt too.
All this A main control too allows for such an easy pinch onto the players who are trying to get this spike down, and they should try to get it at all costs.
Oh, Xiao was so weak. Oh my gosh, it was the Aftershock that kills him?
Where did that even come from?
Great shot out from CNET to get one though. You would think it's gonna crumble, and that's exactly what happens. Aspas with 2 and Loud with 6.
And that pistol was everything. To be able to go into a round like that. Aspas with those ghost kills at the end gets an op as well in this bonus. And it feels like they're gonna have a big attempt to reduce this, not from 4 that we saw at the half, but to even it out right away. There's that Aftershock.
He had nowhere to go, man.
Yeah.
He had no choices. I thought the Prowler was gonna get him. He had nothing but a sliver of HP.
A ghastly bite.
What tools do NAVI have? Angel's close to having his ult. The drone early towards B long, 2 he spotted.
And despite the drone not lasting as long as it used to, you can still clear up close here. Especially in combination with knives from Zipon.
Concealment.
2, he's reading the timing and that start that he dropped as soon as he saw the drone. Turns into a smoke, but they're already past it. Sadok already invested his fault line too.
Speaking of investments, that op is going to be real tough to use here when it comes down to it on this retake. But if they do go for a B long post plant, then all of a sudden that kind of changes.
Yeah, I mean, just having Xiao as a controller, there's not as much to break those sight lines.
We have Aftershock as well to break out players trying to play close while they defend the back of sight.
And you are absolutely right. They're not intent on trying to play this down long. They want to take the fight out onto the site. They want to scrap with what Loud have to offer. The dumping of utility backside is Loud. Les pushes into it. In the Nano gets 2. And now they swing back out. Angel continuing to frag. Hey, the guy really is in rare form today. It's just a tap, though. That gravity wall's good. And they have so many different angles they can peek out from. This is far from a done deal.
They're going to get half already?
I don't think they're going to be able to. That's big from Aspas.
Span.
He's going to have to hold this the whole way because time is short. He's going to have to get it, and he can't! 0.6!
Surprised that Cowantina is not actually pulling off of that. That is very closely timed. But man, how long it took for them to get on it. I think they probably should have made that decision already. Yeah, there's just, they should have known too. Probably wouldn't even have had time to get off of that, but Loud, I mean, they lose a big opportunity. It was just a bonus. The only big thing here, Aspas with only a Marshall since he invested in op last round, but he also 1 orb away, so if Angel doesn't control B long here, he can suddenly pick up the knives.
Oh, and you can tell they want to do it.
He's looking to counter this. That star as well could be real nice. He's calling players over.
Yeah, everyone's here.
Can he get out?
Oh, just barely. I mean, look at his HP.
So that disadvantage they had with Aspas's weapon, suddenly he has one of the best in the game. Whew.
A bold peek out from Aspas.
And I think that's a lot of time spent there from Navi to try to counteract that and not having success on it. In fact, losing Angel too. Suddenly, you're down to 1 minute with very little tools to get back into this. They noted that there was no KJ util right now in street, so they're walking down. But Cowantina does get the info anyways with that jump spot.
Aspas is there too. You see that attempt at a high-low. Speaking of high-low, Aspas trying to get high ground himself. Zip's timing almost successful.
He missed all 5.
Yeah, he invested everything. Still has a Marshall. The knife out. And you see Sadok playing up in smoke, playing up in heaven. He's getting spammed, trying to get peppered through the wall. Les has joined him though. Perhaps that will be enough.
Oh,
nope.
Through the smoke.
I mean, the reinforcements instantly dealt with. Instantly disabled. 3 rifles though for Loud here. In a 3v4. Xiao in a really comfortable position as Zipan is too. This just seems like another lockout from NAVI. He's just gonna have to 1v4 to keep this interesting, and he just can't. I mean, Navi looks so good right now.
A 4v5. And yeah, they did get, you know, they got some HP done on Aspas at the beginning of the round, but
Headshot.
what is this? They just walk into street and nothing found by Aspas at all.
No. I mean, even the proactive decision-making to fight for that orb, knowing what was coming.
Yep.
I love that.
Causes fits in the loud camp. And down 4 now. I mean, I think we're starting to see a little bit of why Loud was avoiding this so that they could revamp the map. Here's a dash in with the stun. Aspas getting really deep. And they swapped that late round, by the way. Aspas had a marshal the entire time, and then they made the call for that play, and they find nothing with the stinger. 2 Buckies, too, bought up. So that Les can play backhaul, and Tuis can play on his smoke at A. The problem is he doesn't have any more smokes.
They're investing 4 towards B right now on the defensive side. They have the alarm bot and Link. But that's really all the map control they have. No real idea if anyone's pushing up towards Art or anything like that.
And Loud was stacking B, gonna opt
Yeah.
away from that. And I wonder why, because Tuis is hearing nothing right now.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just off of timing. Expecting that they would have already hit and they haven't yet.
And it's not the right call. Angel's bringing his team back towards that B side, which is empty. We know that. And Navi, Sugetsu's going to try to figure out exactly what's going on the rest of the side
30
of the map.
seconds left.
That's so sharp out from Sugetsu. Lets himself get tagged by the Haunt, still gets a kill, keeps rotations from Loud towards A.
Yep, it's important too. When you go and hunt for where they're stacking, oftentimes you want to
Spike
try to
planted.
bait a reaction out from them, try to spring the trap that they might have set. If you get tagged by something, all of a sudden they're like, oh, there's a player here, let's go for it. Let's make noise.
Yeah. Oh, they've invested the null command. They do have a luxury of a ton of money and a couple of other ults still to play around. So I guess why not?
I think specifically just trying to avoid any flashes Sadak might have here is pretty key because they have no way to get through that smoke.
There's one of the flashes they were looking to avoid. You see the repositioning, a clean shot out from Sadak.
And they just want to go down to Spike now.
Yeah.
Not give any more ults. Sugetsu could be a guy. He does fall, does get his lockdown up. And Aspas picks up a weapon, so not falling to Spike important there. Oh, Sugetsu 1 off of the lockdown, excuse me. But that's 3 in a row now for Navi.
And the final.
It should be challenging Navi. I know Navi is, what, 7-1 on this map, but still, this is where their bread and butter laid. Back at lock-in, back through Americas, when they had such success, when people thought they could challenge the likes of Fnatic. Where has that gone?
Hey, it's gone stale. It's gone stale in an attempt to reinvent and reinvigorate. They find themselves repeating some of the same questions. How do we get past this deficit? And meanwhile, for Navi, you know, we've touched on it a little bit, but they're literally doing everything right.
So often this drone from Angel is getting full control of one of these mains. Recall to get CNET across and almost takes down Les too. The important thing is the shift in setup here from Loud after that timeout. Tui swap sites with Les, which they've been doing quite frequently throughout this map so far. It's what you'd expect. But that turret usually was in B-Link. It's set up differently, in front of where that smoke has been landing from the single controller on Navi Xiao. And they're holding on to backhaul.
30 seconds left.
Timing on the knife, and that's what draws out the fault line and pops a little bit of what they have. But CNET pushing forward, backside. Les is the one who's going to have to challenge, but he's flashed. He can't see a thing. What a setup from Ziban. And then you've got the ult out from Angel. This is beautiful.
Run.
The Rolling Thunder's going to cause serious problems, though. Did they burn the clock too low? Look at CNET. He's got behind enemy lines. Only one found. 4 seconds left. They've got to commit to getting the spike plant down. They do.
Oh.
Angel and Xiao left alone in a 2v3. And do they know Xiao's position? Could he single-handedly secure the round? Could he single-handedly get NAVI to map point? Will they clear him? Do they know? The fault line, they're aware. Kalanzine on the swing. The fault line causes problems. Angel left by himself.
Still tough to flush him out, and he's repositioning.
That glowing Vandal's gonna have to find so much more value, and it just can't. A 3K from Kalanzine is loud, get to 7.
On a round where they threw everything at it, though. Talk about NAVI doing things perfectly. That round, they certainly burned the clock a little too low for my comfort, and finally we're gonna get a timeout because of it. Shocking. I don't think NAVI expected the breach ult to come in at all, especially with the lockdown in play, thinking that there's no way they try to close the gap against it. But that's just used to delay. You burn the clock. That's what happens. You get slapped in the face.
Trap, if they decide to go towards Link, you've got the alarm bot crossfire from Les and Sada.
As that smoke falls, they use that Prowler. You're absolutely right. If he buys time for this fault line to come back up too, they could definitely have a trap play. And they're re-clearing both sides at the same time in A main. Angel!
I mean, half a second. The only thing separating life from death for Angel, for NAVI.
And it's the two new players too, going for a proactive play. They've got more coming.
Look at how far up Kalanzine is. You're right, Tui's is there with them. That 1-2 punch. It's a devastating duo, and can it clean them up? Seeing it top stabilizes for now, but now it's less. You thought you dealt with it all.
30 seconds left.
But there's more on the other side, and Les's timing is going to be gorgeous. There's no idea.
Oh!
They have no idea, but the pixel betrays them. A regress from Sugetsu.
All he needs to do is just buy time now. They're going to go into Aspas.
It's just contain. It's just contain. Walking into the slaughter is Sugetsu as he cannot find the space he needs.
Come on, get me in the line of fire.
Down to 1, and on your screen you see it. NAVI feels the pressure right here.
I mean, what a timing.
What a call as well from NAVI to try to come back into this, but Kalanzine and Tui's just shut it right down. There's no play. NAVI says, yeah, they got 2. Let's make sure that we clear back that space, get those 2 players down. And it just does not work.
As Loud 1 round away from taking us to OT. And NAVI, who held control for so long, find themselves on the receiving side of losing 5 of the last 6.
I'm looking at Aspas's position for the first time. He's going away from B here to play with Kalanzine and Tui's.
Help them up. I mean, Kalanzine is 1 point away from having the Nightfall. If they have that and the Rolling Thunder.
Xiao 1 point off of his too. On the other side of the map though, can't recover the orb. So much into this.
Cned's Blades and Sadok's fault line. I'm surprised he's held on to it.
They're gonna stay on this. He's gonna stay back sight here, hope that no mollies come into his position to keep him away and cancel this lockdown. Oh no!
Oh, he's gotta get away. He's stuck. He can't find a way out and he's dead.
He forgot about the knife! A crucial mistake that Loud have made before, and that might have costed them the map.
Les on the counter. Kalanzine has arrived with Nightfall, but the Cosmic Divide defines a great line. How do they reinvent their exit through this?
Can't spam now, but Molly's coming in. Angel might give up his life for Zip-Ons. Still time, though. And they planted the spike in the meantime.
So costly, there it is on the res, but Tui's has an ult of his own. They bring him back to life. They've got the Nightfall that they're gonna invest, and that's gonna just cause so much chaos on the site. The flash from out into heaven, and you see both ults used, dissecting everything. 1 finally dissipating. Aspas pushing forward, op in hand. Do they dare peek on the other side of the wall? Now they funnel out, it's a flood.
Time running short.
NAVI trying to hang on to the control of the situation. It's a 3v2, less than 2. He's the youngsters. The young bucks, can they do it themselves at 2v2? It's all on to Les. 89 HP, the first found, but no idea of the second. Time running short, the gravity well will certainly seal it. NAVI somehow maintain control and take map 1.
And I think when Doombro said they have a surprise, I'm surprised that they didn't have anything cooked up, because this is the bog standard. They love to run the fade on this map, despite not having the Sova, which can counter the lockdown, they are so good at still making space in this situation and dealing with that combination. Makes it very unorthodox to play against, but one we haven't seen. We haven't seen Loud go up against them. In the past, you would have expected this to be a massive battleground for these two teams, but they just have not tested each other until now.
Unexplored waters between these two juggernauts finally clashing, this time with the stakes as high as they have ever been. Loud on the attacking side, a heavy lean towards A right now, as it seems like they're going to want to split into a lot of the teeth of what NAVI have on defense, but Zipham's the first to fall.
And Knife did not get the killjoy, so they still have those nanos available if they end up pouncing here. Angel did use his smoke. He's going to try to peek over towards A main, maybe get something into tree. But the rotate's getting pulled right now. And Louder working this very well against NAVI.
A little bit of a deep smoke
30
as
seconds
another
left.
countered, allowing CNED and Angel to both drop out from heaven. No real idea of what's up there. He's got the dash proc, instantly has to reposition, 67 HP, looking for another angle. Finding comfort in the confines of the smoke, and CNED with the second, very clean. I mean, this, once you punch a CNED and Angel, might have just secured the round. They've gotten almost all of them. Holy Les! Oh, he had to get one more, and he just wasn't able to do it. The high ground was too much. NAVI get the pistol, but fireworks out of the gate.
I was going to say, Angel and CNED saving them, but at the end of the day, it's Xiao. He came out fast through heaven there. Clean up that final kill, and good movement too, because if he falls, all of a sudden you have to play this little footsie game. Which, honestly, is how the round started too. Both these teams, after they got that initial pick in mid, waiting for smokes, TPing into them, playing with the dashes. Just looking and waiting for the teams to lose track of exactly what's going on the site. Well done from Navi to allow that to happen. Those couple kills from CNED, huge.
Oh, I think on the other side of things too, very reminiscent of what we saw on Pearl. Les with a hot start, but the pistol lost. We'll see how they can convert. Aspas once again with the Marshall.
Yeah, early in these games, the Des touched on Les's performance at the beginning of Pearl 2. And overall, it felt like he was the guy trying to will them back into that map. Give them some energy. And it looked like a cohesive unit at the end, but at the beginning it was slow going. Trying to get their bearings about the game plan ahead of them. See if that same thing begins, because that would be real bad when you need every attack round you can get on this.
CNED looking for the challenge on the second. Sadak is bold to face. A little damage dealt. Angel's position here could be really nice. The first couple of shots are errant. He has to take a step back.
No pressure. He had on this killjoy setup, and Zipon's knife is perfectly timed. Still not quite sure exactly what Loud are doing, though. And you're looking to see CNED actually spot into mid right now. Just because Angel and Xiao are actually really up close here. They could fall, and if they fall, that's two guns that are easily given back.
Scoop-upable, some might
mid.
say, but I mean, it's just Loud that's getting picked to shreds.
Yeah, it's a tough setup to break,
left.
but
Yeah.
very risky one to go at anyways. And we're not going to see that magic that we saw from Loud in the first map. After that eco, it's a Prime Gaming flawless instead from Navi.
But I do think as much as things change, there are a couple of things that remain the same. And much like we talked about Les and his hot start on map 1, we've got to talk about Angel's hot start on map 2. I mean, you imagine sometimes there flashes in the pan for the guy, and you go, well, that's not sustainable, right? You know you can't do that again, but it's an excellent start for the IGL.
Well, I think it is. People always describe it feast or famine.
Yeah.
And it's specifically here, the LCQ run on this map. Angel was doing a lot of feeding in this instance. Here so far, not so much. And starting on the defense, I think, is a different story.
Yeah, he's the one eating now.
Oh, early peek from CNED. Doesn't get any damage done to him, but does do a little to Sadak. A risky peek, and I think Sadak's going to try to clear up mid, knowing where the jet is, but there might be a trap here.
What's across? There's really nothing else on the other side. I mean, even if Xiao swings, he has to wait a little bit for reinforcements to arrive and spawn, which they've just now done.
Well, don't forget, too, Angel could have flashed at any moment from tree. And they will re-clear and go down mid right now. This is crazy. In the mid round.
Oh my gosh, CNED. Les tried countering at just the right time, but he was overwhelmed.
I mean, what is that from CNED? It felt like 3 bullets. Sprayed wildly. Oh my God.
Hello. Talk about wild, talk about aggressive, ambitious, and bold, but perhaps it's enough. Only one found, and oddly enough, it was the person behind. CNED still with 3 in the other round for NAVI. The bonus secured.
Gotta see that from CNED again.
Yeah.
It felt like 3 bullets shot, not aimed at the second, and still it found his head. Look at this.
What?
The lineup is beautiful. That's just crazy from the Turk. And that's a bonus converted from NAVI. That's a huge momentum swing. Loud need to. Again, it's so difficult to stay in this map if you're not going to start accruing a few attack rounds. And they need to come at some point.
I mean, given how this map plays, sometimes it feels like 4 rounds on attack is a win.
Especially when you have a little bit more standard of comps.
Yeah.
When you're not playing with any of the Viper or anything like that, which did come and go out of the meta.
Shadows traveling.
Talk about abandoning ideas too. Loud instantly after that one game they played against DRX, abandoning the breach comp that they tried. Look at this, they're getting aggressive again on Cat. Aspas here.
Oh, the paranoia was so good. I mean, that's the only thing that saved his life.
Yeah, he didn't know how close they were either, because he could have seen them for sure. CNED still dueling in mid.
The alarm bot is still up too, so if CNED wants to take a step back, he can reposition and know they're still covered with utility.
Oh,
No way.
that turret's not going to be able to get timing, but for a second there, it looked like Sugetsu might get picked off by Les, but it's passive from him. That looks like it's pointed at him.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's just staring. You're right.
30 seconds left.
The alarm bot's spotting mid. The turret cleared. The door follows too. You only got 2 members from NAVI back site. If Loud want to make a run at this with the pistols that they have in the Stinger and 2's hands, they're going to have to do so with some ferocious velocity because reinforcements for NAVI are coming. The defense has started to rotate through spawn. They're starting to feel some of the pressure. 10 seconds left, and the spike still isn't fully out on site. That flash is so good out from Zipan, man. How do they get through this? The sheriffs are working. Sugetsu feeling some of the pressure. The spike not planted. The kills come through, and NAVI gets 4.
They still get all the damage done. Though from Loud, and remember that was an eco. That was just a couple of sheriffs spot up. So they still, I mean, despite the fact that this momentum's growing for NAVI, despite the fact that that scoreline is growing, that bank will take a hit there. So that's a success in my book if you're Loud on that eco.
Operator in the hands of CNED, 8-2 right now for the star from NAVI. He's got blades to work with too. Oh, that high low, that high-low and the one-way is just too much. Angel's not able to find any value as Loud barrel through the defenses of NAVI.
And CNED's trying to re-peek into this. He's so active, but the drone's still up and he's tagged by it.
Laughing in the face of danger, pure
He bought
disrespect.
time though for Shao to get on site.
Aspas falling, Shao with a really nice haunt.
That's an instant pop there. They're going to use the Hunter's Fury to get him out of that position.
Shao's dead. Shao's so dead.
So all that work for nothing.
Sugetsu's gone re-aggressing, and he might find the timing on Les. He's
Oh!
gonna find the timing on the flank! They bowled that utility out, and Sugetsu almost gets a second!
But Tui's TP still maintains the space. They just got to get through, and they do. Wild sequence.
I mean, chaos ensuing in round 5, but Loud finally on the board.
I don't think that's how the round was drawn up.
No, I don't think so. I mean, what do you even choose to replay from that round?
I know, right? I do want to bring attention to Cowanzine again there. Taking a duel against Angel, that's the first duel. Cowanzine was 4-0 on first kills to first deaths when he was playing the Fade in the last map. And if he could continue that, that's the sort of thing that you look for some extra success as they push me.
Holy aggression. I mean, the haunt found everyone. Fortunate for them, it was just 1 kill.
Yeah, but it's gained so much space in mid at the same time. A smoking tiles.
I mean, look at this crossfire. Sugetsu's here. Les is dead. They had seen it to help in case things got too messy, and that Nightfall's gonna hit them all. The C's too, they've got the Prowlers, they can't get out.
They're so low.
They're so heavily suffocated by NAVI. The defense does not relent as NAVI get 5.
And the final kill there is CNET spamming his knives away through the smoke. The combination there of the C's and that Nightfall decays them so much that everybody running out on site is 1 HP, despite not taking any damage up to that point. Just temporary damage, that's crazy.
My doubles.
That's the thing that you don't really calculate into the value of Fade in some instances, or even as a combination. It's not one that you think of very often.
Yeah.
Again,
Sure.
wasted energy in a sense.
Turret out.
The force up, light by from Loud, 3 rifles. Excuse me, plus the Guardian too. Makes this still a very dangerous round.
I mean, what a cool setup. They had the paranoia out from B, the dash in towards B, and the flash from out tree from Zipan.
Yeah, and it's trying to go deep enough that it's the looking at the players. So he's basically flashing them from behind.
Blocking sight.
It's different variation on this Sharks attack pounce, but the thing is, it was just Les who was over there. He's already fallen. The rest of Loud towards A. Aspas is already out on site. He's gonna have to turn that flash. They know where he is. Epic cleans him up, and it's once again a slaughter. Another Prime Gaming flawless through for NAVI.
This is where I was afraid of in this map pool. Both of these maps, it feels like NAVI has taken advantage of a Loud squad that has lost confidence in their identity on these specific maps. Ascent is no different. It's a place where they lost many times recently, where it used to be their home ground. It used to be their old reliable. It used to be the one where they barely lost to anybody internationally or at home.
CNED, early challenge, has to dash away.
And these are things that are difficult. Again, I'm saying, CNED constantly peeking places and never getting punished for it. So you have to be very careful how you approach the center of the map, or any extremities at all if you're Loud, and that's causing so much labored efforts in their defaults. Looks like Counting playing anti-flash for something to come more out on Cat. Instead though, NAVI is taking this opportunity to swap players. Zipan started over towards B, CNED swaps his way back towards Market, and they leave Angel alone on A for a long time here.
CNED creeping up towards middle.
He peeks for info right now.
Calling my bot.
He would have gotten a lot, you're right.
And he just did, he just jump spot. And that's 3 players now from NAVI, where it was a second ago, nobody except Angel. Now they're gonna have everybody. Still time to
30
pivot.
seconds left.
Loud desperately need to get around on the board here. Remember, on the attacking side, if you get to 4, you'll take those. Look at that deep smoke. They want to push up.
It blocked the flash though.
They're so aggressive into this, and they have no idea that Zipan's here. You've got CNED who's there too. The flash out, the swing, but what? What a response from Loud.
Player standing.
Perhaps finding comfort in desperation.
That's a big blunder there from NAVI. Might give room for Loud to get back into this game again. Zipan and CNED walked into the crossfire. Yes, there's a flash, but you're walking into a 50-50 angle.
I mean, they've just won so many of those 50-50s so far, though.
Both looking at the same direction, though. Trying to swing to help and deny the plant.
Yeah.
Where Aspas just stays window. Crossfire at its most basic. Look at that peek from Sadak. He doesn't stop running.
No charge. Don't get shot.
A couple style points are going to get Loud a second round and are going to draw a timeout out from NAVI. Yeah, that's just Phil.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, that flash, they're running away from it already, right? The only person that's gonna flash is Aspas on that angle, but he's playing in the window as an easy way to strafe away from it. And get right back on the line. So yeah, that's, to me, the first mistake in an otherwise very strong half so far from NAVI. Despite how defense-sided this map can look at times, even if it's trended away from that in recent memory.
Well, given, you know, different comps that you were mentioning earlier, now we're back to more of the closer to the standard. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. The knife takes flight, getting a little bit of info. Oh, that option.
It's a fight that CNED constantly taking. He's not exactly finding value, but he's constantly
applying pressure.
That's right, unless the same situation gets Sugetsu. That has not been a situation where Sugetsu has died before his util pops off in this map so far. So talk about a huge advantage here, because you have to re-bolster this B site.
CNED's really far ahead of this. He's got the op. He saw his dash too. When does he proc? Les has been good. Oh, where'd he go? He disappeared.
He's gonna peek off the turret. CNED knows. And the knife indicates a lot of market presence, especially spotting that it's empty. Loud, are you gonna go with that info or go towards the A side?
It seems like they want to go A. That paranoia just barely out of reach from Angel. I don't think it tagged.
Oh, he's up close. Angel could completely snuff this play.
30 seconds left.
And it seems like Loud are the ones who are sniffing out what's going on the other side.
Now it's CNED's turn.
Just up by himself.
That's dash still.
Spam out through the door, and he legged Sadak 5 HP. I mean, he's beaten, he's battered, but he swings out with the classic and he's flashed. Nobody can see a thing, but CNED falls. 10 seconds left. Loud established control, not just of the site, but Tui's puts his foot down mid. One can zip on, do nothing. Loud get a third.
A scramble in the final moments, but that's exactly what happens when you lose your sentinel on the B site early on in that one. And Les, huge in this one. What a spam onto CNED too. Somehow, some way, he was staying alive for so long. Tui's to close it out too. Feels a little inconsequential at the end of the day. But Doom Bros can't be happy about that. Specifically, Sugetsu's first death there. And they're leaving tools up here for Loud. They still have that lockdown. And Sugetsu has his, but oh, his setup is very deep spread. He's got nanos in mid, alarm bot on Cat, and a turret on B. Somehow he's keeping them all active. And he can start to play retake on both sides, despite NAVI playing full 3 players on A. That shock just took down one of those nanos.
And the thing is, they don't know that it's nanos. You wouldn't normally be expecting that. It's often the alarm bot that's placed there.
Slight visual cue if you're watching it, but other than that, nothing to know if you've damaged it anyways.
Right. That somehow at the opener there took a ton of damage. 17 HP left in the round. See it smoke out. The drone's going to clear full A.
And spotting the alarm bot there is key, because that's not been there, remember.
Yeah. Do they push into that off of Angel's paranoia? No. Not fully convinced of what's on the other side. They're going to fake this.
They just fake footsteps
left.
away.
Yeah.
More noise in mid too. This flash is going to be a nice line, and Zipon's dead. The timing awful.
The paranoia on the other side too, and they've darted through this. Aspas has gotten 2. Kawanzine joining in on the fun. And NAVI want none of it.
My ult is ready.
Insta-plant for Kawanzine, gets him his ult too, so even if the kills didn't come in, if they got that sight, got a counter against the lockdown, and once again, Loud maintaining the tools that they need to really start to balloon this. I mean, we're talking about 4 rounds on attack. They're getting there, and potentially even more.
Yeah, that's a costly gun loss from Sugetsu. I mean, Loud have so much money, I'm surprised they're not hunting more. Yeah, you guys are fun.
We found him. The Brazilians have arrived. Xiao finds 1-2. Will he find his life? Still in the next round, no.
And that's a last gun loss there.
And that was milliseconds too.
Yep.
You're right, that's a huge impact. NAVI broke in this instance. Look at these entries. Quick from Aspas. And Angel's just wandering through that nade because it's not smoked. He thinks he's gonna be able to get on the angle, and all of a sudden he's in a nade. He has to push forward in that case.
Trying to catch a timing. Perhaps an unexpected one, certainly doesn't go his way. Navi still hanging on to a 2-round lead, but Loud have awoken. We talked about this fight mid and the value that Scenic could find. This time it's just a Marshall.
Where was Angel even standing there? I feel like he was on top of Dice.
Spike dropped.
Xiao has this really aggressive angle.
Yeah, off the turret. That's on his right, too. That's going to take contact for him.
A lot of Loud members on the other side, but they're wise to it. They don't walk up dry. They flash the angle, and they get the space.
It's so interesting, too, here. I think they think that NAVI might have forced up, so they're using the lockdown, but there's not much behind this.
And Xiao just playing within inches of his life and ultimately finds his demise nonetheless. How do Navi funnel out from this? Can they funnel out from this?
Look at Les, he's gotten all the way up market too. This is a flank possible, especially with this paranoia. He could even start to run if he wants to.
Yeah, but Angel's on a flank too. Angel's on a flank, CNED's playing up on switch.
And CNED thinks he's cleared close logs right now. Instead, it's a player in the market who can end everything.
Les is gonna do it on his own, isn't he? By himself. First shot a little bit labored, but finally meets its mark. Meanwhile, Aspas joining in on it. Les with 2 on the round, the third around the wall. Sugetsu cleans it up. He's gonna have to do it on his own. And yet again, Navi crumbles.
This Loud comeback on this half is ferocious. Feels much like we saw in Pearl, but with a little bit more of a kick to it. How have we gotten to 6-5? And there's things that are working that you remember from the iconic Ascent that Loud used to play consistently. Kalenzin's Odin coming into effect as well. This last round is going to be interesting. Let's remember the different types of ults that have been up for so long. Sugetsu needs to find value out of his, but there's the Hunter's Fury up for Kalenzin. Look at this op from Tui's instead of Aspas here. Attack side up with the flash coming in. Oh! A missed shot. Angel lucky to get away with his life again. Last spot one up too as well. He's using all that bank. What is that?
I mean, when you've got that much money, it works. You see the paranoia out towards mid, trying to catch Angel, but he's gonna push in front of it. Instantly tucks back though. The ult out from Sadak, but the swing out from CNED. Angel in a massive position to make an even bigger play.
Res coming up. Zipon, can he try to deny? I love this from Aspas, getting extra space, but can't get out now.
45 HP, he dashes back. Power in the jet mobility.
It's crazy that all this has happened still. 40 seconds left. Loud can pivot anywhere they want to. Especially now that Sugetsu's down. There's no KJ util on that B site despite it looking on the minimap. And they're going to commit to this A split. Tui's has a crucial job to clear A main here. And that's what they're really careful of right now.
The timing on it's interesting because they're funneling out without having fully cleared it. Maybe hoping to catch a timing on someone who might be there, but Zipan with 4 HP, down in hell, trying to stay alive. 10 seconds left on them to get the spike down, and it's all gone their way. Xiao left in a 1v3.
Info TP to try to catch him, which dodges the knife, but they should know he's in tree.
I mean, Kalenzin's here with the Odin on the other side. Safety valves in place.
One way, just at the perfect time.
Yeah, I mean, such a frustrating situation to be in as a player. To realize there is no wiggle room. There is no way to take an advantage. It's another round for Loud, and we're tied at 6.
What an absolute shutdown at the end of this half. It has given energy to the Loud fans. It has given energy.
Trying to stabilize, given the disaster of a close. They had to really clean up the first half of Ascent their ball.
This is as close as it can get. And now we flip. And Navi's attack sides can definitely have that same punch. But it's hit or miss in some instances. Look at CNED. He's been so active all series long. 2 maps where he has the ability to be that person for Na'Vi. Shock dart off the turret, possible. She fires it off anyways, trying to catch Sugetsu creeping. And Angel, again, I mean, this is what he does. He's first contact up mid while CNED holds his cat, really looking for something.
Which again, on most other teams, those roles are swapped.
Yes.
Right? It's CNED who's taking mid, who's trying to be first contact, but you have your controller or somebody else covering you, cat. But this is just the Na'Vi way.
Yep. And oftentimes it leaves them without a smoke. There's smoke. Only a single one this round, by the way. They used it at the beginning of the round to work Angel into that position. Get that alarm bot down, get market control. And he's going to use it again, 5 seconds until the next one for spawn.
I mean, they've poked and prodded a little bit, and yeah, Aspas took some damage, but they really haven't found much else.
Yep.
And they're going to be pushing into this two-player setup out from Loud. I love this from Sonic, just an aid to delay. Right, not even interested in taking the fight, knowing how long Na'Vi have burned the clock.
There's 3 players on this.
It's going to be a bloodbath. They're all fighting on the site. The only 2 that aren't close by are the spike holders. Of course, CNED swinging around trying to find one. He does. Aspas Kawanzine up high too. It's just too much. It's just too much.
And it's a beautiful smoke from Tui's too. And the read on the play from him, he TP'd back off of A main, gave it up when he realized the split was coming in, got back on site, gave a smoke so that Kawanzine can flood fight and save the players on site. Sadak in this instance. Right here, look at this. That smoke, there's nobody able to shoot him at that point from A main.
Yeah, there's no shot.
And there's no control of the right side of the site that Navi's trying to go for.
Confusion. Confusion in the face of Navi's IGL and elation out from Loud's coach as they take the lead. You see the buy for Navi, it's not great. They don't really invest a ton, 3 sheriffs. Light armor for CNED in this too.
This could be dangerous. And they're fighting cautiously. Off the turret again, really making sure Sugetsu doesn't get any space here. A lot of damage done. If I'm Na'Vi here, you're looking to try to control some of these orbs, really start to stack up on them.
Oh, that hurt.
That's massive.
Talk about finding value. Xiao just went down and he was the healthiest one of the bunch.
Yeah. I mean, this much damage early in the eco round spells disaster for it. Really reduces the chances. So all these little chip damage setups that Kawanzine is playing on this site, working really nice.
More than just a chip there on Angel.
CNED's behind him at this point.
Uh-oh. They might pull this off. CNED's going to have to continue to be massive. Zipen's there to help. They've gotten out onto the site. They've left Sugetsu to control B.
That's a Bulldog too.
And that's where Sadak is going.
Sugetsu's completely unaware though.
He's got a classic. He's not healthy. I mean, he's dead. He's done.
Yeah, still though.
Bulldog for CNED, you're right.
And the flash as well from Zipun, so they can definitely make a play off of this. Both back sight though, and that knife cancels all of that.
And the paranoia, they go in behind it, surely. You hear the nade out from Sadak, but that was a little shallow. I think that was intended to go back sight. There's the flash, there's the swing, it's just one left. Can Sadak do it on his own? No! CNED with the...
How's that just happen there? Navi sucking the energy back out of this room by hitting a thrifty win. Just buying up a couple sheriffs. What is that?
And I've got to go back to the opening in the round. You think about the shock darts that came through from Kawanzine, all the damage that was dealt.
Yeah, how did they lose that round? And they even took down Angel. There's no smokes there. The elation from Fraud last round all of a sudden turning to frustration. Feelings echoed by the crowd right now too. Ooh. But they're gonna make an attempt at this. Les has a Vandal too. And instead, it's the eco that's finding some value early on in this one.
On both sides, yeah. I ain't just so concerned of the potential push.
I mean, they already saw it once.
Yeah.
What do they do to back it up? Shout. Could use Prowlers. Instead, without Haunt clearing bottom mid, Angel's going to set up on Cat, insert himself. He has a Phantom. I don't think you want to go lurking by yourself.
Oh, but again, That's the Angel way. I thought he was going to do it.
Did anybody get suppressed there by that knife? No. Throwing cross map from Sadak. That is the cue for them to go.
Les has a Vandal here, the only one that's standing. Aspas has shown up with the Marshall, currently smoked off.
Big
Oh
dart.
my goodness, they're all lit up! And he preserves life. They've got a shot at this. It might just all be Les, but that might be enough. Turning the flash, looking for another, and it connects. Only Sugetsu standing. A 1v4 if he wants to win this round. And he's certainly healthy enough to do it, but he does not have enough time. He cannot ping pong back his way into the round as a MasterCard Thrifty comes through for Loud.
Back to back. Big rounds that should not be won end up coming through. And we're staying as close as possible. Remember, after Loud won that pistol, that was the first lead they've had all series, and now again, bringing it back with that Thrifty round win.
And it wasn't in the kills, but the setup from Kawazin was insane.
And they bolstered their economy, so absolutely. These little things. He gets his Odin online, and they get the op online for Aspas. Let's see if he can start hitting.
Yes, he can. He's gonna get a shot at a second. Asina's dashing into his lap. He's trying to take the fight to him.
Head-to-head coming to full fruition there. CNED looking to punish.
Blocking sight.
I like taking the risk on that. Again, hero buy from Navi in this instance. 2 rifles bought up, sheriffs from the rest. Long range.
That's as clean as you could possibly ask for. But once again, another nice counter. Just 2 rifles left on the side of Navi. And one of them just hit the floor.
Drone perfectly timed as well. Does it clear market? Yes, Kawazin too aware. And in other times, CNED might have his dash to dash on that drone, but instead has to be cautious with this one.
And the spike's gonna make its way out onto site.
Ooh, that's a great haunt to ping Aspas. Could have been value there for CNED,
Standing.
but he goes the wrong way and leaves Shao in a 1v4.
Even with the information gathered from his utility, and you have no armor, a 1v4, the flash around, he's got to take a step back, spam through the wall, as Loud get another, and that gets us 1 step closer to map 3.
Seemed like Loud has found the state of mind, of emotion, of strategy to end up feeling like that team, that top team of America's, the winner of America's, runner-up at lock-in. For Sadak, for Les, for Aspas, the champs of last year. I think Angel feels this kind of slipping right now.
There.
And I think the signs should have been shown way earlier in this game, in that first half.
Deployed.
2 ults for the defense, and they're meaningful ones at that. Meanwhile, Navi have full rifle. Shao's already taken a little bit of damage. They've taken so much space towards Garage already, and they've inserted Aspas with the op.
Oh. How's he even getting that?
I mean, that was so close. What? How does he know?
And the turret's faced the wrong way.
A costly mistake.
What's even going on there?
Either way, Navi having to find success in space elsewhere. CNED exploring mid. They're going to try to split the side up, the map up as best as they can. That's a clean shot onto Les. You've got Aspas on the other side with the op, and Charles Nettington, what was that?
He didn't even stop. Didn't use counter strafes at all.
No, he scooped up the op too. Numbers in favor of Navi. And once again, an unexpected situation.
Still very doable here from the side of Loud.
And really no reason not to go for it. They've got the money. They have the resources.
Oh, that dart clears all of sight. It's only 1 on site at Shao.
Surely you get spammed, right? Yeah, you're dead.
And now they know about the rest. What's going on here? Angel's gonna peek out.
Ill-advised. I mean, Cena trying to hold one side, but there's too much pressure coming in elsewhere. He's got blades. Does he pop them?
Do they know where he is?
Does
Think
he
he's
go?
somewhere else?
Does he go? The op shot misses. The blades get popped, and it's too late. Loud stabilized.
There was a chance there. It looked like somehow, some way, they ended up baiting the fact that CNED was offside. It looked like everybody was away. But CNED does not have that info. And so he plays differently than what Loud was expecting. And he makes some noise backside. That's just crazy. I wonder if like a knife or something didn't spot him. Because it definitely felt like nobody was looking until he made noise. And Navi, Angel is not happy about that.
No, the frustration starting to mount. Again, the stakes have never been greater.
And then all of a sudden they turned it on and looked like gods in the next. But it's not off the back of Ospas or anything like that.
No.
Ospas still kind of slow in this game. Finally finding value out of the op though in multiple rounds and looking for it again.
And honestly, when you're trying to put together a championship run, that's what you want.
It's looking like Navi want to full send on this A site without any information elsewhere on the map. As soon as this smoke fades, it's time to go.
First smoke, Sadak. That nade is gonna cause a little bit of trouble, but Cened's already out. Angel has joined him, using him like a duelist.
Spike down A.
I'm looking for the timing of these no commands and the lockdown. Sadak up close. He might have just ended the round right here without using anything. Look at him go.
Sadak with 4, give him the ace, Les steals it, but it's a prime gaming flawless for Loud anyway.
The leader and the veteran. Sadak, what is this? Spamming on the first, that's a ping by him. A flash to take down CNED. The teammates break the door and everything is coming in at the same time. The hot, the Sobol. I mean, that's a setup for absolute success. I feel like I've seen this before from Sadak. And they're starting to play to the crowd, finally starting to get this confidence on this stage that's been lacking in the series so far.
It's been lacking since Tokyo. But it seems like a return to form. Aspas with the op, the first shot just a bit wide. He's feeling a lot of pressure. We're in for something special here as the 1-2 punch is just too much.
Oh.
But Zipana Chow, what?
That's the 1-2 punch. Where did that come from? Following up on all the kills. And they've got a free A site.
A ferocious 2K from both. Kawanzine left alone.
Spike planted.
Is he going to be able to upgrade a weapon? It's just Odin.
That's as upgraded as you can.
Yeah, I guess it is the best gun in the game. 13 seconds to his dart. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer.
And you saw the brief decision there. The knife spots him.
Yeah.
He can either go back up heaven, which is maybe what they expect, or go back here.
The nade to dissuade. Zipman, no idea. Assassination style. He tries to snap on the second. Not going to connect. Chow saves the day with 3.
Add Zip onto the mix there. Yeah, his back was turned, but it was what felt like safely watched there from Shao down in dark. What is this? Like, how did this turn around? We thought for sure they were cleaning this up.
Oh my gosh, he almost got that 3rd.
Tui's and Sadak were hungry running down Cat.
Yeah.
They didn't actually need that. Yes, Sadak got 1 kill, but it felt like Les and Aspas were enough in mid. Instead, they throw all their lives away. We're back into it again. Navi all on this B side. We've seen their willingness to start really hitting these sites. And they've got the ults to do it.
I think on the defensive side too, interesting to note, Sadak bought a judge, and it's not from lack of money. This is the play they want to make.
Oh, Zipon just used his ult. That suppresses almost everybody on the map. There's no KJ util left. Loud did not go for an anti-KJ.
And that's the important one. You imagine they're just going to give up the space and try to play retake because of the ults that they have. Les has to stay alive. Gets away.
Oh, lockdown invested, but they're in the site anyway, so that's no longer going to be a factor. Now they have to play anti-lockdown from Les. And that's difficult when Sadak has his own no command, but only a judge from him with 5K.
That knife from Zipman just hit Les, so they're going to have to wait even longer.
Well, Loud still have to do the first step, which is take over the front of site. Now they can play backside because he does it from spawn.
I mean, NAVI may have everything they could possibly want, and they've got Sugetsu swinging around. They're gonna have to deal with him, and he's just baiting them out, man. Using himself as a carrot on a stick, dangling, drawing attention. But it may not be enough. They've gotten their way out. It's gonna be a 2v2 Sonic upgrading a weapon. Zipan trying to dance around the flick, almost lands.
He's got a stick.
Needs to be clutch. He needs to cause problems, and he does! Xiao with the Red Bull clutch to get NAVI 9!
There's no way! There's just no way! Aspas dropped his up, picked up a judge. It was the perfect weapon! And he just doesn't get the kills. How does he not get that on a Xiao? He's literally in his smoke, as close as you can be.
I mean, I would have loved to have seen Aspas POV there.
No time for that. Back in this right away.
Loud still hanging on to a 2-round lead. Sadak still with his ult. And the op for Aspas, currently playing mid.
These death balls have been much better for NAVI than any of their defaults.
Yeah.
And they're still sticking to it, but a lot less ults.
The money for them isn't great either. NAVI have to continue to find value, and that is gorgeous.
We've seen that before for NAVI. Just getting the spam off the mini-map there with the ult, it's just so perfect. And Angel's not even risking his life there.
I mean, they're essentially using it as a Yoru ult in a lot of ways.
Just crazy.
What do Loud do here? NAVI trying to hang on. They have 4 members on site.
Yeah.
Just Sugetsu playing off, and the knife tagged him. So they should know where he is. The op not finding its mark. That nade is gonna cause some problems. Seeing it down to 38 HP, and he's dealt with. Remember, you still have to deal with Sugetsu, and now he finds the right moment to strike. The barrage of bullets not connecting. But Loud finding space. Angel having to clutch for NAVI, and he's not gonna do it. Loud's gonna get the defuse. They're gonna get to map point. Oh, baby.
This is crazy. How often are we seeing these Loud retakes? I mean, outside of that 1v2 from Xiao moments ago, these Loud retakes look impossible, yet they still get down to that final member down the line. And eventually it's gonna connect, even though NAVI feel like they can bulldoze their way on this site almost every round. They've fallen back onto old comfort here with this default. It's not gonna be fast.
And it's not gonna be ferocious either. Look at their buy. Just one rifle.
It's shambles.
Sugetsu.
That is an absolutely broken buy. And it's Sugetsu too, not one of the entries, not CNED, and not Angel. I don't know how he's in that category, but he is.
Not their second duelist.
He gets a kill anyways, top mid onto Aspas.
Well, hold up.
Was he jump spotting there?
That was the big one. Can they do it with odds stacked against them? Where statistics say you shouldn't be able to pull this off.
Remember, on Pearl, they were on a low buy too, and they closed out that match.
Can they defy those expectations as Sugetsu gets another?
I mean, never doubt putting your faith into Sugetsu in these moments, but that's the spike there, and Sugetsu not able to trade. Still no weapons recovered.
Tui's calm on it, able to
another kill!
But he falls. I mean, Sugetsu might ace his way into this.
Smoke behind to cover up their tracks. Les is hot on them though.
Kalanzine showing up, he has Dart, he has 2 shocks. Odin still in play.
Weapons finally recovered for other players too.
Well, just Angel at this point. Les, what? Sugetsu with 4. The ace on the cards. As the crowd tries willing him there. Kalanzine left by himself, just the Odin.
Don't forget, this was a round NAVI was basically saving. They forced up with almost nothing. And Sugetsu with a hero Vandal gets all 4 kills. And he's not gonna be given the opportunity. Although I think he heard him chase him down right now. He's running into mid.
He's gone hunting. He wants it. Kawanzin wise not to repeat. He grabbed the op. He's able to carry it into the next round. I mean, that's huge.
That might be everything. In an instance where we've just seen hero plays, all attention goes to the stars. All attention goes to players like Aspas to close this game out. If that's what it's going to take, that's what it's going to take. What a round.
Yeah, Sugetsu looking to become the main character. And with a round like that, he very well may.
Look at this peak. Aspas wants it. He wants to take the fight fast. And even though we've been deathballing towards B as NAVI, they have been exploring mid in a few of these instances.
This is so bold. This is so bold. You have 2Es above from top cat.
There's nobody playing on B site right now because they're all supporting Aspas going for this kill. Lockdown now. Potentially, yeah, it's up.
The duel's gonna come through. Aspas looking the wrong way, but the snap on his Zipon is good.
Cover going out.
And this is the problem with deathballing. Whenever you want to pivot, whenever you're not getting enough information for you to send it, you have to re-clear so much.
I mean, you're blind.
And that's why Loud is going for that play in the first place.
Complete lack of awareness and a desperate need for reconnaissance to find out what else is going on.
Bomb grenade out.
But hero plays have been made. They're gonna hit this site 4 versus 3.
Can Navi stay alive?
Sadak has his ult right now with 37 seconds. He's not popping it for some reason.
Patience on it, there it is. That's the cue, they've got the lockdown to buy time.
This gets
Navi,
space deep.
once again, burning the clock.
They forgot about the lockdown!
Sada clears it out.
How do they get in now?
I don't think they can. It's just 3 left. There's still 2 members of Loud on site. And in very Navi fashion, they burn the clock all the way down, and maybe not a moment too soon. Less than 2 is the youngster stay alive, but Sugetsu with another massive play. Can 2's 1v2 to take us to bind. 2's creeping around, keeping his position quiet, keeping it secure, keeping it safe. And Navi wisely not giving him a fight. They're gonna force him to make a play.
He's coming for it though.
2's spotting just an elbow of the first, closing the door, baiting the fight.
He might get half off that no.
No, it's just a tap. The door's been broken. 2's in a seemingly impossible situation. He's already gotten 1, waiting for the swing on the second. The turret, 7 bullets. Will it be enough? They don't connect. They don't connect. And Sugetsu's just gonna be able to spam his way through. Oh my gosh, no, not like this. He pushes out. He's already gotten it to half. It's a whirling dervish. He gets the kill, but the defuse is not gonna come through. Navi, stay alive.
He puts it all out though. And we've got to watch that round from Sugetsu's POV again. What is going on with this guy? This is why the lockdown falls behind him. He stays in the position and gets that shot on Aspas, then finds this follow-up too. And he's the final 1v1 too. That is crazy.
What on earth?
Remember when I said I thought for sure Loud was going to be able to not let this slip like Navi did?
Right, yeah.
And here we are. They let it slip, they're out.
Their year's on the line, you're right.
They don't get to play another. Or Navi. Yes, they want to close it out, but they get another chance if they lose this one.
The dart to set up Aspas, the turret cleared. Meanwhile, there's already aggression towards A.
The fact that they've stopped this is a huge success point here for Loud, because they were trying to fake a little bit more of a default setup going here, and they wanted to pop on it.
And they stopped it with 2 players on the side of Loud.
And that smoke took a long time to actually go down from 2Es as well. Still going to set up for the execute now that Sugetsu's joined them. They have this fatal.
CNET has a judge. A judge in Blades.
Oh, he could easily make something happen with that.
Oh, Sonic's ahead of it!
He has a judge too!
What a play from the leader! But Angel on the counter. A 4v4, his kills go back and forth, tit for tat. He's gonna try to escape. 2's falls, less on the swing. It's all Sugetsu, he's been a hero. My goodness, he's gotten him here by himself, but it will not happen again. We turn attention
superstars. Let's get this party started. One more map. Shrine, let me hear you.
Loud starting off on attack, all attention turn towards A. And they're quick with it.
And you can already see some impact with this extra smoker here from Sadak throwing up top truck. You get no value if you're playing up there if you zip on.
Dude, I mean, look at the site. Nobody can see anything. It's all just green and gray and everything smoked, everything covered. Tui's finding space in showers, Les finding space on site. And Loud finding the round.
In a moment where the smoke's fade, they find clarity. A ridiculous clap back after it looked like they were gonna fail. When they pushed out, that re-push through showers right by bench, they get 2 kills instantly. And NAVI overextend. Tui's with that late lurk through bathroom. At any point, any of these controllers can turn into lurkers. I know that Valen on the desk was talking about how it's it could be in some instances a pseudo initiator, and I fully agree, but at the same time too, once you get those weird TP plays going. What is gonna be the play here? Les with the fast molly to keep Angel and Shao contained down in Garden. And that forces Angel to TP out. I think the molly might have missed actually there. Shao got out really easily.
Whoa. Oh, and the other one from Sadak is massive. Zipen making a run at this round, though, with the Sheriff.
I think with losing CNET and Angel, though, these are the guys who are really doing some work with those light buy rounds that Navi was getting outside of the hero rifle rounds from Sugetsu. I do love how Loud played this 3-1-1 default. 3 players going up long, they get that control of Octagon, and then they have only Tui's watching the back of Sand. That's covering Les's flank. And Sadak deep watching bathroom, too. It's a perfect anti-eco play. No pushes allowed.
Oh, there's a little something. They managed to get through Aspas with the Phantom, though. Just overwhelms Sugetsu. And that nade hurts. He tried pushing through it to catch a timing, but just not going to be the case. Aspas gets 3 as Loud get the second.
And Aspas on the raise, too, is something that we've been not seeing too often throughout this season. In some cases, been pigeonholed onto Neon and other things that you definitely wouldn't put to his name prior to this year.
No.
It's been the same thing for CNET, too.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
And that's why you see him playing this Neon right now. There's not really a place for him to be comfortable on this. They use him for the extra stuns, fast flanks.
And very quickly, if I may, I know that Aspas just got a bunch of kills, but Les is currently sitting at 4-0.
Yeah.
The guy's just been on a heater.
And look at that one way from Sadak. He can take this fully by himself. Very interesting, given the fact that he was trying to do this when he was playing Chamber on this map.
Yeah.
At Tokyo. And during the Americas playoff, he gets a trap play sprung at him, though. He could TP out of this, no problem.
Oh, the Trailblazer, they're hunting. They're pushing him further back, but he just created so much space off of his TP that they can't follow.
And look at this. They have such an abundance of smokes that Tui's just uses one to put him in it if he was in trouble. That's crazy. Oh, Angel. False information there. And they're not following it up with a flash from Shao, so that's a kill on the CNET given freely.
Another opener onto Aspas, too. Now 2 away from the showstopper in round 3. I mean, they're all lined up in towards short. You've got Angel, who's close by, though, cleaning up the first. Galvantine falls. Aspas waiting for the challenge, and Angel snappy with it. They get the spike down, though. Sadak was the only one who had control of the right side, but they still have the utility of Les that they can play around.
Yeah, Tumali's time is taken away, but they're going to get pushed here very fast, so will he be able to get those off, and will they make a difference? Because I don't see an orb on the spike.
Les has to be cautious. He gets the first, tries to snap onto the second. Angel with 3 on the round. 2, he's swinging for it.
Not half.
Spotting one more. Shao's going to have to pick up the work that was not accomplished. He's gotten it 3/4 of the way. He's just going to be able to stick it the whole time. Angel was the protection of 4K as Navi get on the board.
And in a moment where they lose advantage early, Loud instantly getting that first pick down short with, well, not instantly, it was belabored from Aspas to come through.
Yeah.
But Angel holds the line. Remember, he was rotating off in that instance. That's huge for NAVI to continue to maintain that pace because on Ascent, Loud was 17-7 in first kills to first deaths.
That's outrageous.
Yeah,
17-7.
It was still a 13-11, 17-7.
That's mad.
So in moments like that, you need to see them continue to convert when they lose the man advantage. Because it's frequent, it feels like, at this point. Sadak using both smokes to really creep up on CNED right now. The one way to force him off the angle, and then as well, smoking the front of bathroom so he can just freely walk up. That's a free orb if he wants. And Aspas on the other side of the map too, with his showstopper now active.
Scout destroyed.
It's going to be really tough to actually activate this trap play that CNED and NAVI want to play on Sadak because of the TP.
I mean, imagine you try to drop the wall in that situation, but no. Sadak was playing behind it. Sugetsu feeling some of the pressure. Utility goes instantly back up, and there's CNED. Was patient in showers, finds success.
The fact that he disrespects the smokes is very important there from CNED too. Using the utility from Shao to help that goal and that mission. They got one molly out of Sugetsu, but there's still one here, and that's where the spike is, so that's another
30 seconds
8
left.
seconds. So they won't be able to execute.
I don't know that they're going to find much here with Aspas' ult either. Does he dare clear below him? No, he doesn't! Sugetsu drops him from below! Zipan trying to help control what's happening in Hookah, and so far not good. 13 seconds left, though the spike is not in hand. I mean, Tui's is alive, but he can't get to it.
Yeah, it's top Hookah. No chance at all. And that's massive from Sugetsu there. I don't even know how he hits that. That's a vertical flick on a flying raise with the satchels. It's got to be a disgusting flick.
Yeah.
Or he's just aiming, pre-aiming up.
Yeah.
It's really hard to give yourself the space in those instances where you actually control and pre-aim properly. No. Ooh, it's kind of a messed up satchel there from Aspas. No speed on that. Trying to get the shot fired out on spawn too. Losing Sadak there might have been an impact. Maybe they actually needed his smokes. I doubt it, but either way.
Because they have so many more.
This is an eco from Loud now. Shotgun bought up from Kalanzine. Aspas with still a hero rifle. That was saved in the last run, but given to Aspas.
How do they manage the disadvantage? Loud with very little to fight back with here, as you were just saying. Ult for less and for Tui's.
There's a stun possibly at any point with this Trailblazer. It's missed though.
That could have been disaster, but they're going to try to crunch. They're going to try to crunch. Angel's going to swing it from door with the utility out. CNED pushes in with his ult though. Angel getting it with the ult too.
Meanwhile, they lose control of lamps and front sight though, so gonna potentially give up a spike plant. No, this is spam!
Oh, he was not deep enough.
That smoke gives so much room there for that to happen. Sadak needs to be a lot more careful.
CNED looking to be more electric with the finger guns and scale up in a position you wouldn't be expecting. Pit still in play. Kalanzine with the Bucky. Going aggressive. I mean, if they can continue to play around the pit, they're going to have a shot at this.
CNED tries to punish off the backside.
That's another. That's another. Sugetsu's on his own. Seeker's invested.
They know he's off with that.
He's been so clutch. He's gotten it down to one, and it's the most difficult one to deal with.
It's so tough. Once that Viper's Pit goes down inside of lamps, you have room to work through lamps in the backside. You can worm your way around everywhere. And with that shotgun from Kalanzine blazing the path, Les has so much room to play off the trade and play backside there, where you really think that he's going to be playing laps off mollies or something else. And remember, that was a light buy there from Loud.
Yeah, one rifle.
Why did that reaction look so fake? With the slow-mo and everything.
Early defensive hit from Navi and the swing out from Angel, wanting to take that fight and finding it. Again, an opener from the leader. You talk about feast or famine. I mean, he's been dining on Loud for the last couple of hours.
That's interesting too. Kalanzine was actually doing a good job staying alive as the initiator. Another trap.
Whoa.
Force him out, and Angel just TPs, and he's safe with that wall. It's always able to go up from Sugetsu.
Yeah, he's out of the play though, and that's going to allow a lot of room to work. The orbital strike back sight to clear things out, and you wanted to push CNET into a space where he had to take the fight. Les still falls, but Tui's on the counter.
The showstopper came out while CNET was fighting. This is holding space for Zip on there.
They've got to be careful. Aspas and Sadak are the only two that remain, and Sugetsu's on the flank. He's got him crunched in, and if he takes long, there is no exit. They have to go forward. Sadak has ult, he could maybe flip the map, but Aspas would be left alone.
Player standing.
Trying to clear backside. Aspas falls. Sadak by himself.
30 seconds
So many
left.
angles to consider, so many things to clear, and just none of them found.
Shao coming in from the rear at the end there. The smoke fading. What is that, man?
He just had no chance. That's
And this right here, where CNET is fighting, that's completely giving and holding space for Zipon to come through with that showstopper. And then the smoke from Angel still finding value, even though, remember, he TP'd across the map. Despite losing that light buy round from Loud, Navi still in the driving seat. They forced that situation out once again. And Loud are really not having many more ideas than this initial default that Sadak has taken actually a lot more space this time against CNET. Neither side changing up the plan at all.
No, I mean, we're tied up at 3 apiece. I get it.
Nice flash, though.
No real confirmation that the plan doesn't work. CNET, Tokyo drifting around the corner and cleaning up Sadak. No real chance there.
It's super interesting that they don't pounce off that flash from Sadak, because it's perfectly positioned against the Na'Vi players, but they still weren't comfortable about lamps. Another shotgun from Kaunzin.
Remember, they had Bucky's in this round. Les is upgraded. He's got a Phantom now.
The big difference, no pit, though.
Yeah.
Spike down.
There was so much value in that ult. You just don't have that resource to you. Angel on the flank. Once again, a situation where Loud are surrounded. Well,
Wait.
just wait for Angel.
I've seen this round before. Never mind, Aspas's not going to loop back around. Find Ye on the flank. Oh, wait. That was 2022, huh?
Aspas manages to get the spike down, a little bit of money in the pockets of Loud. But Navi, again, with a ferocious defense that has proven to cause so many fits to Loud.
Yeah, I need to see a timeout here from Loud.
Yeah.
Start addressing some of the different things that they can do. For example, remember back to that anti-eco that they started with. They got the pistol. They got 3-1-1 control of long. Instead, it's constantly Sadak trying to work up bathroom and them trying to work up short. And I want to see an idea, actually, with this Omen ult. Because it's not one that you see quite frequently on Bind. It's been struggles this year. It's never looked perfect. It's been a lot of criticism. It's been a lot of cooking. Not quite figuring out how to make this roster work in terms of roles, finally giving Zipon some leash to play on, and we've swapped up this op.
Whoa.
CNET's position, instead of bathroom,
He's
does
playing
Loud
that
expect
long.
this? Yeah, it looks like they spot it now, at least.
Do they confirm that he stays, though? Yeah, he does give up the space. Aspas playing on the other side of the smoke. Both duelists with
The timing there.
an attempt at a fight, but it doesn't come true.
Sadak is the one still controlling short, while everybody else right now making sure there's no push out long, making sure CNET doesn't get cheeky with that op, but he's swapped up his position still. And Kaunzin comes all the way over just to flash for Sadak, so he can start to throw some smokes out and make it look like it's an A hit.
Do
And Trailblazer didn't spot anything down long either.
Dude, Angel's on an island.
Yeah, he's by himself.
Yeah.
Sadak is doing a great job pulling these rotates.
Yep.
If Angel gets in trouble here, he's going to TP and leave the site open.
Manipulated by mind games. The paranoia out, too.
The battle of the IGLs.
Xiao's the only one not fully believing. Oh, he takes a step back, but he got his. He got the kill. Sadak was trying to flip the map. Opportunistic timing from Angel. And a kill gifted. They're still going to try to get out. They're still going to try to get the spike down, but they've got the orbital strike they have to deal with. They've got the Seekers.
Is there going to be a flood, though?
13 seconds left.
That Molly denies the flood. They could definitely get this plant unless there's a spam from CNET.
But what else do they have?
No!
There's no way.
That was a millisecond.
Angel with 3. Aspas holding the line. Les, the first one, snappy. Aspas on the second.
Sugetsu needs to drop the wall for Angel right now.
It's like they're trying to plug holes on a sinking ship by themselves. Each wall bleeding further and further as Les gets it to a 1v2, and it's too much.
NAVI on this defensive side, I know I've said this a lot, but they have a great hold on the game right now. They just can't repeat mistakes from the last 2 maps. Let it slip even an inch. It's real, I mean, this, oh no, he was ulting away.
I mean, it was a gift, bro.
That is so unlucky for Sadak.
Literally the freest kill of his life.
The culmination of the fake. And it could have been a perfect concert. Wait, look at his possible aggression here. CNED's coming in as well. He's gonna hold the long angle while Angel was considering peeking with Shao's flash.
I thought he was going to. The Trailblazer again, that one way CNED has to give the space up.
Yeah. You can play it from a lot deeper, but we also have this Aspas ult that we need to consider. It wasn't successful last time.
And it seems like they're gonna try to do a bit of the same from the last time they had that ult. A pop out from Hookah. That flash, Angel's overwhelmed.
That's beautiful. He's playing in front of the wall too, so no real room for him to play other than maybe his smoke, his molly. Doesn't get that opportunity though.
No. Shao and CNED both here. Op in the hands of CNED.
Look at this re-clear, Shao.
1 point away from having his ult online as Shao goes exploring.
Toxins going up.
This is a tough angle to expect after you've already done pressure in this position. They've given up the space. Do they expect it though? That flash clears Hookah, backside, less swinging.
It went in between his legs. Less than Aspas
30
pounds.
seconds left.
Planted.
Every time you think that NAVI have some way to swing this round and this game, Loud responds so fast. And they're already in positions to save.
Yeah.
Zipan, he's in spawn. There's no chance. Some damage done would be good though. The bank for NAVI, not great, but still acceptable for a couple more buys. Meanwhile, Loud, I mean, saving all of the weapons when they forced up in this in a big way. Nice double peek, bro.
What are you going to do against that?
That's at the end of the round, too.
Yeah.
To have that focus.
Yep.
They're ready for it. That's as the spike is blowing up, they're coming up with a dynamic peak.
How does a shot miss, bro?
That is between, I mean.
That's lit. I mean,
Oh, he legged him at least. That's crazy.
the thinnest of margins separating these two squads. It really has felt like a heavyweight fight from beginning to end.
Shadows.
More aggression here from Loud into bathrooms, but it's not just Sadak, it's 4 members.
You gotta be careful here. Does CNET, I mean, he has his ult.
He's just picked this up.
Yeah. Feeling some of that pressure, orbital strike online.
Yeah, we've seen him dive on that bathrooms push before, but I think he understands there's more to it than this. And also trying to rely on Zipan's elevated position with the satchel.
Meanwhile, look at how Loud are weathering this. They're already looking at the teleporter, considering the possibility of a crunch.
It's funny because most of the time it's them forcing Angel out into that teleporter.
2 ults invested.
Oh!
Aspas finding one onto Zipan.
That could have been 2 too.
They still haven't established U-Haul control though.
Yeah, but just mauling them off. They've got them contained. Aspas gonna go for it.
Is he aware of the second? Yeah, the pre-fire, but Sugetsu wins the duel out anyway. Les couldn't join in. They couldn't pinch him. But they maintain control. Satisfied with what they have, Les drops the pits of security even further. But Angel pushing forward, walking into his death as Les snaps onto 3, and the Loud crowd goes nuts.
He is like a shark when there's blood in his pit. He's got a bite to it. That's twice now he gets his pit down on the safe side. That's twice now that it leads to a round win from Loud. Can't believe we're all tied up, man. This is just unbelievable between these two teams.
And an
Incredibly, incredibly dangerous.
I've lost count of how many thrifties and life ice situations have proven to be successful.
It's funny, I feel like we've had less thrifties than expected, even though we're seeing constantly eco-round wins.
Ooh, a fake flash on the swing.
That's really nice there. You think you're getting ahead of the flash, it goes a little deeper. You're looking for a peek. Granted, CNED did have one of those rifles, so that's a big pickup. Sadak, he's been the lurker all game. IGL versus IGL, Judge in the hands of Angel.
It's a brutal angle, is he aware?
Surely he waits for his team when they're approaching. Oh, Angel just heard them. They made footsteps there. And the Trailblazer's gonna confirm. He's in trouble.
Angel looking to try to find a thread to pull on.
Yeah, look at that as well. Sadak trying to flash off the...
Ooh, he's overwhelmed, but he's playing inside of the smoke. Remember, he still has a Judge, and from that distance, nothing is dealt.
And that smoke way too obvious what's going on, especially once you hear him jump out of hookah.
Spike planted.
And now Sadak actually has this flash to secure the round. He can just flash out hookah when they run out if he wants.
He might just mow him down by himself. He's already dealt with the duelist.
They don't need it anymore.
Nope.
A flood attempt, quickly stemmed.
Toxins going up.
Sugetsu with a nice one, on with the Sheriff onto Kawanzin, looking for the second. A little bit of damage dealt, 35 HP amongst the two remaining members, and it very quickly dissipates.
And Loud have an opportunity to do what they've not been able to do all series long, win a half. Here on Bind, a lot closer in terms of sidedness than either of the maps we played. But it has been slightly skewed in one direction.
Let's go.
Loud subverting that as well.
There are two ops.
Yeah, exactly the same way that Ascent's half ended. Remember, they bought up ops in that last round because they have weapons sitting near.
Yeah. Keep a close eye on it, who swaps over and when.
Les even has a backup Judge here, which he might get to use right now.
Angel's so far up. He's so far up. Abusing the wall that was put before him. He tries to take some space and get a kill and can't.
Yeah, stimming away.
That is a classic Angel play, isn't it?
And they've swapped the lurk to Tui's in this case. Down bathroom, he had massive success in other rounds. With that op.
Pushed off the angle, the second one falls. Les and Aspas with openers towards A. Zipan surrounded, an aid at his feet. The molly too, the floor is lava, got the satchel away. CNED looking for it with the ult. He's not gonna find any value either.
Yeah, Sadak with a nice way to TP across the way where CNED is holding. Easily forces a crossfire from Loud.
Loosen up.
Still chances.
Albeit slight, but they are there. You're absolutely right.
And Tui's might get lurked on here where he just re-lurked through. Oh no, what is this
That's
name?
gonna hurt. Is it gonna kill him? It forces out the swing, he gets the kill, but no real idea that there's someone else there.
And Tui's has walked all the way through lamp, so now they should know what's going on. He's either close bath or down short.
Sugetsu's been so clutch. A 1v2 clutch in a situation like this, no. And for the first time in the series, you're right. Loud enter halftime with a lead.
Switching sides.
It's been so close every other time. 8-4 on Pearl for Navi. And then it was tie game on Ascent, where Loud came back in a massive manner. Here, they're in control for the first time heading into the second half.
And I'm sure you guys are getting tired of us talking about him. Les has 18 kills at halftime. I mean, the guy is looking to close the series out by himself. How do you deal with a player that dynamic? That's the question that Navi have to answer with one half left. Who continues this run? Loud with the 2-round lead, now on defense, that double controller comp. You imagine will be stronger on this side of things, but we'll see how it plays out.
Navi have been in a similar situation very recently, not getting out of groups at Tokyo was the first time at a global event. They didn't manage that. And they're starting slow here.
Yeah, they are cautious with it.
Trying to reckon with that fact. This wall is very old. Blocks off lamps, blocks off spawn, and allows you to take some backside control from Sugetsu. Let's see what they do. CNED has one stun.
Oh, they've smoked so much. Oh my gosh.
How is he aware?
He was just so aggressive. But you're right, Tui's was ready.
It's a great path, but Tui's, I mean, contains and maintains control of the back of sight. Angel's gonna try to dive in it and gets punished. Loud, full control on this retake.
They may not give up a single inch here. Only a few members to take damage, really just Sadak. And he's the first one on the fight with CNED on the other side. Aspas falls, CNED with reposition, no. Clothesline drop, they're overwhelmed. Loud pushing back, and Shao cannot hold.
And already on the pistol round, you see some extra value out of this composition that Loud has pulled out. Tui's is able to do all of that, stay inside of lamps. A lot of times the Brimstone has to run off so that he can make sure he stays with his smokes for the post plant. In this case, gun out, fighting the entire time. Sadak covers in with that space. Gets two smokes down that allows them to flood into the back of sight and counteract exactly what Navi wants to achieve in that one.
Three-round lead for Loud. They've won the last 5 rounds in a row if you go back to the previous half. Talk about having control of the situation. Navi on a light buy, but we've talked about it many times this series. They're good here, they're comfortable here. They've made a whole lot of something out of nothing in situations like this before. And that was almost one. I mean, a pixel, the only difference there.
Smoke to cover from distance. They don't realize Angel is through, though. Unless they go for a reclay, that's probably not going to be a factor.
Oh, the elbow gave him away initially, and that double peek from CNED was perfect.
In fact, it is a factor. You're right, that double peek so strong. Angel giving his elbow first means that he has to flick for that angle. And CNED comes on the more traditional one.
Whew.
Somebody's got to be careful. He has the opportunity to walk back lamps there. That's twice. He's kind of lackadaisically walking across an angle.
They're making something out of this. Navi have gotten 2, but the hard work still left to do. He's with 3! Avoiding disaster. Surely what that would have been. But they're not out of the woodworks yet. Navi have gotten the spike down, and they've both upgraded weapons.
Aspas is so slow here to be able to help out less.
It's equal footing, a Spectre and a Bulldog on each side. CNED healthy, Sugetsu not nearly as fortunate. That hasn't mattered in the past. Will it matter here? The Roomba detecting the first. Onus on Loud to reestablish control. The nade to provide some cover, and they double swing into it. Aspas saves it after Sugetsu gets it down to a 1v1. Whew.
You were just saying these rounds get real spicy. But what the heck was that from Tui's? You thought it was whiffed. You thought it was over. You thought that round was going to be lost because he couldn't hit the first shot, and then he hits 3 kills.
Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th burst is what it took.
Low-key, I didn't know there was that many bursts in a Bulldog.
Yeah, I don't think I did either. As the saying goes, 5th time's the charm, and that was enough to get them the round.
Magic like that is what it's going to require to close out this game, though. Fast push down. Aspas against Sugetsu. There's nobody else to fight.
Are there reinforcements? Will they help?
He's stuck.
Zippen just picked up the spike. They're coming to take the fight. Navi's pushing into this. How do Loud lose 2 there? Well handled by Sugetsu, who again was by himself.
And it goes from bad to worse. Les going for a reclear. And we're 20 seconds into the round, and it was basically wrapped up. This bonus attempt, out of Loud, definitely hurt from that last round. Remember, only 1 player survived, so that's why they try to go for something crazy.
Yeah.
And it could have worked. I mean, Sugetsu was isolated, but ultimately.
I dropped the spike.
NAVI capitalized with I mean, Sugetsu's been playing so well.
Yeah, he has.
Talk about singing the praises of specific players here.
Did.
I honestly think everybody's stepping up. And what started as kind of a sloppy game in the beginning has turned into a really beautiful game of Valorant on Bind here. Remember back to Pearl, those were such slow rounds, really draining. You thought it might be a stomp, and then, man, have we upgraded.
I mean, that feels like a different series at this point. Well, we get a chance to check out the skin that Tui's chooses to play with.
Is that the topic you choose?
I mean, we've got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Gun here.
9-6. Talk about pressure on NAVI right now. They're finally the ones who have to try to come back in this game. Look at this from Sugetsu.
I mean, him against the world.
It's such a good angle. There's not really extra space there to move past.
No.
It's really him who has the onus to peek. Because they're kind of put their backs against that wall. So NAVI converted, and they're going to try maybe to go fast here. Same thing.
There.
With Sadak a fake TP, which puts Aspas in a position to opt this.
Yeah, but he has light armor on this. Or he has no armor, excuse me. It's a glass cannon. He's going to have to satchel out. He was too aggressive. He was too bold with it. And NAVI punish. Pounce as they find the best target they possibly could. And CNET scaling forward. He's taken over the site. He's taken over the round. And he's far from done. Kawanzine by himself, feeling some of the pressure. Deals with the first in another situation where Loud desperately try to hang on to the only weapon that they have.
What do you think of this skin?
Low-key, I prefer the Prelude to Chaos, but that's just me.
This is ridiculous. Counter punch after counter punch. And what looked like, now Loud could have gotten up to 10.
Yeah.
On that bonus. It was a very bold play.
Oh,
and
they're
now,
coming this time.
Kawanzine holding on the last gun, which would be carried over in a very crucial way where we've seen hero rifles be so impactful. No molly! It just misses.
Just barely, and the spam on the angle does not connect.
Trying to keep hope alive here is the crowd for Loud. And the thing is, NAVI have broken their economy ever so slightly, so the staying power here is starting to falter. And there's some key things as well that you're looking at with CNET in that last round, for example, getting deep with that wall that we pointed out early. It's very unconventional. It doesn't give you that lurk access, or at least the same level of it, but it does allow you to flip that site, and that's what CNET did against Sadak backside there.
Comfort for NAVI, as you wouldn't think they're down 2 rounds, given how this half is gone. They have full rifles. They've got money for days. They have 2 ults they can work with. Sugetsu and Angel are so close to getting theirs on 2. I mean, this very quickly could become an avalanche that overwhelms Loud. But NAVI concerned about what might be on the other side, are playing this a bit more precariously. A bit more cautiously, a bit more safely.
I got spike. Spike drop.
A lot of control gained over towards the B site. So they're comfortable to back off.
I've got your trail.
Seekers popped.
This way.
Loud has numbers here.
Good flash from Sadak.
Very nice.
They disrespected those zip-ons through. They're even getting the plant down.
I mean, they're going to try to push their way out from this. They're going to try to establish some presence on the site and try to get out ahead of
30
things.
seconds left.
NAVI can flip the map, though, if they want, because they pause for just a moment. Sadak finding one. They've invested the orbital strike 2 to try to get another kill. CNET's ult, they've jumped everything into this.
Last player standing.
Concerned about the danger of rounds like this. And they manage it well.
And I have to say, CNET is getting very comfortable on this Neon.
Yes, he is.
They've tried it so many times on various different maps, Lotus, Bind. And now it looks good at the perfect time.
A dueling chorus of chants, cacophonous at that.
We need something to take up what has been quiet from Loud in the last 3. Us just waiting to go down. Me? No, yeah.
Oh,
Just goes down to Spike. For full money in the next. And it's down to 1, Doug. All of a sudden, the canceled bonus from NAVI, you're seeing the implications of that now.
yep. Is it really a surprise, though? And you think about the series and the way that it's gone. For us to find ourselves in this situation, Loud hanging on desperately, white-knuckling as they try to hang on to this lead. And NAVI with a wild comeback. They've won the last 3. They're pushing Loud.
Aspas with his ult in this. He's posted up inside of showers.
Blinded.
And NAVI, I mean, we saw it a lot on Ascent, deathballing their way to control in this B area. Wonder Loud going to be able to respond to that. They just walked through the orb.
Oh, the flash wasn't deep enough, but Coenzine,
He's stuck now, though.
utility out. Can he try to find a way? He gets the first. It was free. Last on the swing, Angel's dead, and with that goes to Spike. Aspas looking for one with the ult. He tried to get high ground, but it's Les who stabilizes.
What a shutdown. Angel tries to go through the orb, but that was ill-advised. Molly comes through. Aspas is there in time with a nade. Everybody vulnerable.
Of course, it's Les.
And Les destroys them.
Who else?
He was struggling to get up to 20 in the second half when he got like, what, 18? And then all of a sudden, big 4K from who has really felt like he's turned into a leader for this team. All the talk of him doing a lot of IGLing, mid-round and calling. Dealing with the map vetoes, those sort of responsibilities fall on what ended up being the Champions Final MVP last year when they won and he took down that trophy.
Don't get in my way. Orb emitting.
Got so many ults that they can work with here. You just see Les using his ult
Scout
right off the
destroyed.
bat. Coenzine
Oh.
still with Seekers. Seen it with the op, though.
He spotted both with that Trailblazer, both Aspas and Kalmanster and Sadak. And even when there's 2 players up top, Trucks, Sugetsu wants to take the fight. That's just absurd, and Sadak has been struggling to stay alive in these early instances. Look at the wall they're throwing too. Les from the other site.
Yeah.
Front lamps, front sight, but nothing more than that.
Showers control has to be established here if NAVI want to feel more comfortable with this.
It's the same thing for Loud too,
Ooh.
so. Could have gone around the corner, spotted Angel, and then all of a sudden there's a nade at your feet.
Yeah.
Welcome to
They're going to try to hang on. Angel's timing on this is going to be everything. Attack side pit used. And the Seekers to counter, but there's really nothing that they can do to pounce behind this.
Oh, what are those things doing?
It's just Aspas on the site by himself. There's help from
30 seconds
Coenzine.
left.
Yeah, sure. There's help from Tui, sure, and that's the biggest one.
Sugetsu's way close here.
Angel dealt with. The pit could be everything. A snap from Sugetsu is clean.
If he fell there, that round opens up for Loud.
I mean, it very well still may. They're down in numbers, though, and Tui's is weak. Les repositioning and joining in on the fun. The flash is there. You see some of the spam through the pit.
Dropped the
They
pit.
dropped it.
Wasn't covering the spike.
They want to take the fight straight up. And that seems to have been the best possible decision. Unlock Zipan to get to. Tui's falls. NAVI get another.
Only a brief moment for Loud to hang on to this lead, but it's back within 1. Of course it is. And again, this pick from Sugetsu onto Sadak is just crazy to me, given the fact that we had Aspas up top there as well. But the Trailblazers spotted both, so they both tried to fall off. Sadak not all the way. Could have been a cool play, but
Yes, of course it can.
There you go. Oh, aggression again?
every time this early bathroom fight happens, it feels like it favors the attacker. You saw Loud run a very similar play.
And again, it was when the buy was light.
Yep.
It's just pistols. Navi just seems so ready for that attempt at surprise.
And they've swapped up the wall here from Sugetsu too, so lurk ability much easier to achieve here. Orb positioned as well.
I mean, NAVI have done such a good job of deflating Loud.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to the economy, though. I mean, how many times have we seen them hold on to scraps?
Yeah. And sometimes scraps is all you need, though.
The stun, the little damage done with the spam keeps him in.
That's one. The stun, though, man, I thought for just a moment. But there's really no shot here. I mean, NAVI are putting themselves in a position now where they're going to be tied up at 10. They still have so much money to work with.
Yep. And they're starting to really cycle these ults up as well. Whereas Loud, in some of these instances, it looks like the goal is some of these orb controls. Either way. CNET's hunting from the backside here. It's not that important to get this kill, but
Well, I
don't
mean,
want to give him anything.
Yeah, when you think about ults being cycled for NAVI, any sort of advantage, especially when Loud's on the other side.
Is there a knife here? Give me a knife.
Is what matters. No knife, but the 10th for NAVI. And again, I have to go back to just how well NAVI have done at deflating Loud. I mean, they've taken all the momentum out of the game. They've taken the air out of the arena.
Yep.
They have full control right now. And with that comes a timeout for Loud. We'll take a look at just...
And instead, chants from the shrine. And thoughts of playoffs instead.
The judge for Sadak. All rifles, all for Zipan as well.
Blinded.
Shao with the Seekers, a little bit of early info gathered from Loud, but NAVI happy to give some of that away.
Silence on the map.
And tension just mounts and mounts.
No challenge down bathroom, no challenge anywhere. In fact, look at Loud's position. Playing delay here on B and playing back behind the Viper wall on A. Not even. Worried about peeking, worried about getting early information. They're giving it up and playing for retake. Sadak with the judge too in lamps.
I mean, they've got to be careful on this because if a retake is the attempt, you've got a couple of players playing too close.
This isn't working out for NAVI. They're kind of stunning themselves, but
Sadak arrived.
did he just
I think he just ulted in, yeah.
He ulted into the smoke.
With the judge. Les still trying to hold him back as Les gets two. Sadak with another upgraded weapon success found. Shao left alone as Les gets three. The lead again for Loud.
And it's just genius for the mastermind of Brazil. Sadak ults into the smoke past CNET. CNET realizes what happened, and he gets one pumped in the face. Jeez, man.
I mean, what a gift, bro.
I swear, Fraud is doing more from backstage in the coach's booth than the players are on stage to hype up the crowd. Realizing the situation at hand, they're full focused on the game right now. And NAVI, all of a sudden, there's some shakiness here. Some very fast plays coming out on both sides of the map, but also feels like Sugetsu firing through that smoke. They're desperate to just find something. I think Sadak's going to play with the judge the rest of the game here, guys.
He found so much success with it previously, sure. You think about how money's handled too, it allows him a little bit more room to be able to buy for his teammates.
Well, just think about how many smokes are on the map on this defense.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually really smart.
And how frustrating it could be to face a judge.
But I think on the other side, we have to consider that NAVI have handled that so well up until this point.
Yeah. Most of the time choosing the right site, so if he doesn't have that tool to TP back into the front. Ooh, Kalanzine.
Taking a little damage.
Very risky to just run up jump spot like that.
It seems like they're expecting it to flood out from Hookah, and they may be right. That smoke, the molly at its feet. They're going to try to flood out onto the site if they can, but it's a bit labored.
3 players here.
And now it starts to flow. And they've managed to get openings. They've managed to get the space that they're looking for. CNED gets 2.
And there's not even a gun here for Sadak to pick up through the TP because they weren't challenging this space. Again, playing for
10
delay.
seconds left.
Really look to Aspas here.
Oh. CNED spotted, no utility to help clear him out. The flash as he gets across. CNED staying alive.
Ooh.
Sadak wanting to make a play. Remember, he's got a judge. He's got smoke at his feet. He can tuck into. Actually spams in and onto Angel. Repositioned. Weapon grabbed.
Player standing.
It's only CNED. A 1v1 and Sadak wins it out. Leading from the front. Loud series point.
Two in a row for Sadak. And it's all him. All loud, all day here. How does he manage to do that? Angel saw his foot and then got led to the face. Just crazy how clutch this man is right now. And they got to transition from screaming to strategy to calm.
Think about how questions abounded. Doubts on their performance, on their form. Questions about the future for Loud. Who will stay, who will go? All of that weighing heavy as they emerge from their corners for what could be the very last time.
Oh, Navi threw that smoke. CNED has been leading the charge. He's been the guy keeping them in this game. He needs help to keep this season alive. A season that slipped for Navi from promises and promising paths to becoming champions to now here. And there's no success with that boombot. That's intended to try to get some value out of clearing hookah. The one thing it's done, it's kept Sadak alone here. Aspas is not rotating back towards A. Trailblazer down, clear sand. The rotate's gonna come in. Loud, know what's happening. 40 seconds, still a possibility of pivoting. And we have mirrored ults here. Tui's can delay if he wants.
Spike planted.
But he opts not to. Zipan on the plant. The ult still in hand. Is Navi punching back? They've gotten a couple of jabs. And that cross might just be enough. Unless Kawanzin can counter. No. Tui's left by himself. And it's a prime gaming flawless for Navi.
Absolutely right about how difficult this is right there. That one decision. Tui's not ulting, thinking Navi is going to just tap the spike. So he tries to delay for longer. Instead, Navi just stick it. Didn't want to induce a TP.
What a fight.
And this is it. Final round of regulation. Will it be a bell ringing for Navi? Or will we be going to overtime for another round? Judge bought up 2 judges here. The econ is not great, but a lot of ults to make up for that.
One of them already invested Les's pit, attempting to control A, and he is one of the ones with the judge.
Fast bathroom control too. You need Aspas to stay here. You need him to maintain control. Otherwise, that pit gets pinched.
Blinded.
And with that, Les is likely dealt with. I mean, if you're Navi here, you just want to draw out some of those ults, right? Get them out so you don't have to deal with them later.
That boombot broken by Kawanzin there, so Sadak's position still unknown. But they're backing off anyways. They want to use this opportunity to go for this pinch.
Oh,
and Aspas has a big shutdown in that ult.
That dog was not deep enough. So they're going to re-aggress Navi R and pull out and take the space. Aspas, trigger aching for the touch, and it's just a bit off. He's going to ult, he's going to go forward. Oh, he gets CNED!
30
They're
seconds
pivoting back
left.
to B!
Sadak with the judge, and the second kill found! Is he going to try to ult out? Yeah, he's going to safety, he's going to elbow.
Oh,
But he stayed!
the cancel!
so much to do, and all they can do is watch as the clock ticks away. The bell inevitably ringing,
Players.
but they manage to get the spike down. Shell 1v4, no! We've had